started picking up there towards the end, but I think you got majority of the TikTok attention tonight here. But I'm so happy.
Well, no, we're running the peen today, so we're gonna see how it goes. Oh, by the way, you might want to hit up those two people we talked about last night. Maybe we might be able to do that here today.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Think about that one real quick. But yeah, in the meantime,
good.
everyone, before we continue with this conversation, I'm gonna let Dean and him talk real quick for a second. Tap that screen, everyone. We're getting to 4.1 million likes today. If you don't like Dean, tap that fucking screen. Share the live as well. Let's try to get to 2,000 shares. All right, I'm gonna let them talk quick. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
All right, man. So I don't know where the conversation has gone up to this point. However, I do know that I was talking to you earlier, and you said it is wrong to be gay because of the societal movements, correct?
No, I never said that. That was someone else. That was my
Why do you think it's wrong to be gay?
because you can't reproduce, and
Infertility.
the fact that gay couples they tend to raise kids worse than the normal traditional family, the normal man and woman couples, because obviously get
Right.
studies.
So the American Psychological Association did a briefing on lesbian and gay parenting, and it's a comprehensive overview of research on this topic, and it concludes that children raised by same-sex couples are just as likely to be well-adjusted as those raised by heterosexual parents. We could also look at like a study done by C.J. Patterson and J.L. Wainwright in the journal Child Development, and they basically found that children adopted by same-sex couples showed no significant differences in adjustment, self-esteem, or behavioral problems when in comparison to those adopted by heterosexual couples. You know, we could look at like Jay Stacy and T.J. Biblars and their study that they published in Social Science Research, and this again showed that there's no negligible difference in the impact of the household in which a child was raised in, when the comparison being drawn is between a heterosexual couple and a homosexual couple, right? So like there's so many studies done on this. We could also look at like a longitudinal study published in the journal Developmental Psychology by Toronto and Patterson, and they once again found that children raised by same-sex couples had no differences in psychological adjustment when in comparison to those of opposite sex couples. All of the empirics disagree with that statement, and I could continue to list off these for like another 10 minutes.
I got studies as well that beg to differ.
Name one.
Okay, cool.
We'll give them time to look that up. In the meantime, thank you for all the gifts, everyone. I really appreciate it. Keep tapping that screen. We actually have a bibliography here, man. We have like an entire listed bibliography. It's like pretty extensive that me and Matt have gone over and created. We can send this to you if you'd like, nobody. An entire resource document that does list these particularly. Thank you for the handouts. I appreciate it. It does. Yeah, look at all this, dude.
Wait, you want to look at mine?
Yeah, dude, we got to see yours. Oh my gosh. we should combine them.
Yeah, we should combine.
Matt set up this very, very, very strongly because, like, I mean, he's a librarian. He has access to all the fucking information. It's actually ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. Like, they should not allow him to have access to this.
Yeah, Matt, bro.
It's
Matt's
so OP.
crazy.
It's so OP. No, it really is. Nobody, you can find your thing in a second. Everyone keep sharing the live, copy link, send it to a few friends. We'll help get it out to more people. Let's try to get to 2,000 shares real quick. Plus, everyone keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to, again, 4 million likes, everyone. Oh my God.
By the way, I have the study, by the way.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh my God, go for it. Tell me. By the way, we won't be able to see it unless you come back, by the way. We won't be able to hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me when I leave the. When I go on Google, you can't hear me. Oh shit.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Can you just tell us the title? You go look for the title, come back and tell me. Proxy, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it, Proxy. Thank you very much. All right, everyone, give it a few seconds, y'all.
The title is "Growing Up with Gay Parents a Big Deal."
By who?
By PMC.
Is this an article?
I think so. No, but
It's literally an article, bro. We're asking for a study.
yeah. If you scroll down, it says the study. It says and
Really?
the study is inside the article.
Wait. What's the site? Is it from Reset Era?
Oh, no. So okay. So this is I just did research into this. So this is a paper written by a person that just discusses their perspective upon
An
like
op-ed. Okay, so it's an
yeah, it's an
opinion.
op-ed.
It's an opinion
It's an
piece.
opinion piece. Yeah.
No. It says a 2013 study revealed that.
Lillian, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Matt, did you? Matt might have read it.
It revealed that 65% of lesbian gay couples, the children they raised are likely to do less well in high school, and most of them don't, and they don't graduate.
No. What's the title?
It's by the National Library of Medicine.
Let me see if Matt said he wanted to
Also
address this
from
real
the
quick.
National Library of Medicine.
Alan, it's published on the it's published on PubMed. It's not on the NIH.
Appreciate the super dog. Thank you so much, Matt. Did you see this one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can address it real quick, man.
So one, you are correct. It's an analysis of other studies is one. Two, the problem with it is look where it's published. It's not published by PubMed. It's published on PubMed, but look who published it. It's published by Lanacre Quarterly. That's a Catholic journal. So it's peer reviewed, but it's Catholic, meaning they have to subscribe to a certain foundation of ethics. So they are obviously going to be against the foundation of gay parents because they have a ethical issue with it, which is why the author subscribes to that journal particularly. You have to look at where the source is coming from,
Okay, but the
not just
statistics
from
are still
PubMed.
there. The statistics are still there regardless. It says
No. Yes,
65%.
yes. You didn't
That's not
bring
a
that
lie.
up though. Hold on. You didn't bring that up though. You didn't cite studies from within the article. You cited this particular study, and I'm telling you, this particular study is one, an editorial, but two, it's coming from a Catholic journal, so it's
The
only going to
statistics
give
still
you
isn't wrong.
studies. It's only going to give you studies that agree with this author's interpretation
Okay,
because
but
the
everybody's
journal
biased
itself has
though.
a.
The statistics still isn't wrong. It says 65% of lesbian gay couples, the kids they raise,
Then
don't
give us a
graduate in high school.
citation for that journal. You didn't give
But
us
the
the
numbers,
citation for
the
that
numbers
journal.
don't lie. What you're saying is irrelevant because the numbers literally don't lie. What are you
Right.
on about?
Hold on.
You're
That's
talking
not
about
what you said, though.
bias. The numbers are there. It says 65% of lesbian and gay couples, the kids don't graduate from high school. That's facts. I don't know
Yes,
what
and you
you're
didn't
saying.
cite that study. You did not cite
I don't have to
Allen
cite
for
anything. I've
2013.
said the facts. That's in the study. It's there. What are
No,
you
that's
talking
this is not
about?
a study. This is a see. Okay, can you
Bro,
tell me
you're
the difference
waffling.
between a systematic analysis and
What, bro?
a
Why are you
meta
telling?
review?
Bro, you're just waffling. I don't know what you're telling me to cite, bro. I've said what
No, I'm
it's
not
there,
waffling.
bro.
I am
It says
critiquing your source. I'm critiquing your
65%.
source because you
60.
gave us a source that is not correct. You
It
can
is
cite things
correct.
within it,
It
but
is
give us the
correct.
studies within it. I
It is
bet you
correct.
that you probably can't even find the source within this study.
It is correct. It's right there. Read it.
No, okay. Tell me the source from which that statistic is
It's
from.
from the National Library of Medicine.
No, that's the database.
Go
Give
on it.
me the source from which you pulled that statistic.
It's a 2013 study
Yes, by who?
from Canada. I can't go
By
on.
who?
I can't go on it because if I go on it, it will kick me out of
It's
the live.
do you
But you can
so
read it. You can see yourself. You're
it's
just
written by
waffling.
Douglas Allen, and there's going to be a lot of problems with this. So the first one is going to be that like the sample size that I used for the same-sex households is like incredibly small. I think it was like sub like 90, and then there wasn't any control for co-founding variables whatsoever. And then there was also like no examination on the long-term outcomes of this, and then like the limited geographic scope. This was based upon like one part of one section of Canada, and then like another problem is this is going to be like one of the only studies done in this nature that would show there to be a difference between like the outcome of kids raised by same sex compared to opposite sex parents. And then once again, like the last problem would just be that the scientific consensus on this note, based off upon all the empirical data and study research done, is that there's going to be no difference or effect, right? So this is just like a one-off study that hasn't been repeated and was done without control on a very small sample size from a very small part of Canada, that the scientific consensus as we would understand it to be would disagree with.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to drop down. All I wanted to say is that you got to critique the source and the journal. You gave us a Catholic journal. It took Dean to go into the actual study from which
Still
this
doesn't take
author
away from my
cited.
initial
That's
point.
the main point, and Dean gave very good critiques of it. So I
It
mean,
still doesn't take away from my initial point.
it kind of does. But okay,
No, it
Parker,
doesn't.
thank you for.
No, it
I
doesn't.
have a minute.
Appreciate it, bruv.
Cut.
What were we saying?
I was saying it still doesn't take away from my initial point that
It literally does.
okay, but my initial point is that a child growing up is going to be affected not having a mother, because obviously having a mother than having just two dads, because a child gets a natural relationship with the mother obviously through breastfeeding and through other things which they're not going to gain from being with two dads, and mothers tend to have that more nurturing characteristic.
Wait, by the way, you can buy breast milk that's like that, by the way.
No, but it's still not the same connection through breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is still a different connection than just getting
So
bottled milk.
okay, then do you also think it's wrong for someone to have a stepmother?
No,
There's a
because
father and a stepmother?
what you talk about growing up as a baby.
Yeah, growing up as a baby, a father and a stepmother.
No, it's not wrong because
But there's not that genetic
she still has
relation.
she still has the nurturing characteristics of a mother, which every child.
Oh, okay. So the same thing can happen from bottles that are made from like breast milk.
I'm pretty sure a stepmom can breastfeed a kid. A stepmom.
Yeah, but again, the idea is that you can have breast milk, you can buy breast milk.
No, but it's not from the actual breast, which is what the kid.
Yeah, no, you can. You can.
So a man can breastfeed a kid.
When did I say that? When did I make that claim? I said you can go and buy it.
I'm not talking about the milk. I'm talking about the connection that the baby has towards the mother from the breastfeeding, that intimate connection.
Oh, that's not going to exist within the context of the stepmother situation.
Do you think that it's?
a stepmother can literally still breastfeed?
Do you think that it's?
Oh my
immoral?
God, but it's not the genetic basis.
It doesn't have to be the genetic basis. It's still.
Oh,
it's not.
then your point was mute then.
So do you think-
so you can go and buy
No,
it?
it's not. No, it's
Do you
not.
think that formula is immoral?
How's that formula immoral?
Well, because what you're asserting is that, children are best to be raised off of like breast milk from their mothers. However, formula would not be breast milk from their
You
mothers.
just claimed onto the breastfeeding point, but I'm saying in general, mothers, a child needs a mother growing up. They
Right.
need
So do you think that like being a
that
single father is
a
immoral?
mother.
So like in a case where like there's a single father either to do the divorce or just like an absent mother or like the mother passed away, is this going to be immoral?
No, just like how a single father isn't going to probably raise a child the best, then having a mom and dad being being together is still going to be better. You can't have having either one or the other isn't the best conditions for a child to grow successfully. It's more likely for the child to grow successfully if they're in a household with a mom and a dad, because their both characteristics complement each other. For the
That's
child,
actually like literally not true. Again,
How's that not
you gave what you gave was not sufficient to justify that standard, given the evidence that we have justifying the idea that there's not a statistically significant distinction.
this is yeah.
Like we can send you multiple of these types of reviews that have controlled variables, that have better sample sizes, that are simply better at describing whether or not there is a statistically significant relation, right, between or difference between these two variables.
But there's other studies that also indicate that kids growing up with two gay parents are also get depressed growing up. They go through a lot of stuff.
Give us the study. Just give us the study.
I can't give the study because it will just take me off the live like last time. But
Okay, then just give us the title.
You can search it up.
What's the title?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but you have to type it.
Trust me, bro.
Gay parents. What's the title? Are gay parents raise kids
Appreciate
better?
Galaxy, thank you so much. And when we look that up, what are we gonna find? We're gonna find things that agree with us. Candy, I appreciate the Galaxy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for that. Had a mustache.
Do good parents raise good kids? Type that up.
Do good parents raise good kids?
I mean-
That has nothing to do with being gay.
Do gay parents raise good kids?
Oh, do gay parents? Sorry, my
Thank you
bad.
for the Galaxy.
What are the outcomes of gay parents raising kids?
Yeah, and when we look that up again, we get the sources that we're referencing.
Nah, I don't think so.
But not to mention, like, if a gay couple doesn't have any kids, is this still wrong?
Pardon?
If a gay couple doesn't have any kids, is it like still immoral to be gay?
A gay couple can't have any kids, mate.
He meant in like a family relation, bro.
Wait, you're talking about? Yeah, it's still wrong because they're having sex, they can't reproduce.
So it's not a. Is it just as wrong?
Wait, what's the question you're asking?
Is it just as wrong?
Like, is same-sex attraction immoral?
Yes,
Why?
can't reproduce.
Infertility.
Or infertile woman.
I mean, yeah, sure, right? So, like, I mean, so like now, like the argument has just shifted a lot. Because up until
It's different for infertile woman. An infertile woman physically cannot have children, but a gay man still has the sperm and still has the ability to reproduce. So it's not the same thing. And on a general, as I said before on the previous time, on a general basis, men and women can have kids. There are exceptions of couple women who have medical deficiencies that can't have kids and that are infertile. Doesn't disprove the overall point that men and women on a general basis can have kids and can reproduce. On a 100% basis, a man can never reproduce, and a woman can never reproduce, and that's 100%. But you can't.
On a 100% basis, an infertile person cannot reproduce with someone who is fertile.
Okay, but that's just rare circumstances where someone has a medical condition.
What do you mean rare? Okay, can we just talk about the fact that literally
11%.
19%? No, can we talk about the fact that 19% of women in the United States aged 18 through 49 are infertile?
That's the United
which is relative to the amount of gay people that exist.
That's the United States. Can we talk about the world in general, please?
I don't have stats on the world in general. I have stats with the CDC.
Okay, but that's not representative enough of the whole world, so we can't use those stats.
What do you mean? We're literally talking about in the US, right?
We're talking about the world in general. The US isn't the whole world, is it?
I never claimed it was the whole world.
So why are we just narrow it to the US? Why can't we narrow it?
Because that's what I have. Do you have evidence for the whole world? Do you think the whole world has good numbers on like the proportions?
You can't just use the US as over-representation. There's literally other countries in the world, mate.
I'm giving an example based on one country. It's a large enough sample size.
You have to use the whole world or a larger base. You can't just.
Then give me a source for the whole world.
I don't have you show me a source for the whole world. You're the one that blew it up.
Okay, well, let me. I literally brought it up for the U.S. because I never have to talk about it fucking worldwide. No one's even asked me for that the entire time I've brought it up.
Why are you bringing it up then? U.S. isn't the whole world.
Because I'm having conversations from a particular perspective. Right? We have good numbers, right? Because we have data centers, right, for these particular things.
Yeah, talk about the whole world. Why are you just talking about one country?
Like, why do you keep saying that? Can you give me a reason?
No, because if we're gonna talk about humanity, we should talk about the whole world, not just one country. That's not the U.S.
Yeah, but we don't have good numbers for the whole world.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is going to be like good numbers on the whole world.
You could definitely
like the point. No, I've been trying. While y'all have been talking, I've been trying. Right. Like the point that's being made is that like you're saying that it's rare to be infertile, regardless of the fact that if a man engaged in intercourse with an infertile woman, this would never yield offspring. But the fact that it's rare makes it not matter, right? And then this is when Parker brought up the statistic that like 19% of women are infertile within the U.S., and this would be comparative to the gay population within the U.S. And like your response to this is a bit of a straw man by saying, well, we're looking at the whole world, right? So when we're talking about like data and like empirical claims, we're going to use the data in which is like available, right? And there isn't any data available on how many women are going to be like fertile or infertile like globally. And so like our next best option is going to be
they have like an estimate and like an analysis that says 17.5%, 1 in 6.
Okay, well I guess we do. So I was just wrong. So yeah,
and this is for lifetime. This isn't like specific to the numbers I was giving.
Is that the whole world?
Yeah, this is the whole fucking world, dude.
Okay, and how many?
Oh, now you can't cry about it, bro. Oh my god.
How many gay men in the whole world?
It's gonna be less than that.
Can you check, please, specifically?
Dude, like we see 20% in the US, Gen Z, and that's amongst the most accepted. You're gonna have way lower numbers globally because people have not come out.
Okay, but regardless,
Gabriel, I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much.
Regardless, if we boil it down to where it is, a man and woman can have kids. Whether you can exceptions doesn't disprove the rule.
What do you mean exceptions, bro? If you're gonna consider infertile people an exception, right, then gay people would also be an exception. So you can't talk about them
because
right.
they can still reproduce. They still have the ability to do it. Someone with medical conditions can't.
Yeah, but I have the ability to either engage in intercourse with this woman who's infertile or not. Appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much.
No, but-
is it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile?
A woman who's infertile simply cannot reproduce because she doesn't have the choice.
Hey, answer my question.
Ability.
Is it wrong for
man
me
can
as a
have
fertile man to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
So say that again.
Is it wrong for me as an infertile man to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
I mean, yeah, unless you're the type of guy who has sex for pleasure, then yeah.
Wait, so it's not wrong if I want to do it for pleasure?
I mean, it depends on your worldview specifically. Maybe you
No, I'm
don't.
asking your worldview. Why I'm not? If I ask you a question, why would it relate to my worldview, dude?
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
wouldn't I already know that in my head?
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
So it's wrong. Okay.
You know you can't.
Okay. So again, I bring up the scenario, right, where there is two people that have already produced children, right? They're old enough where they've already become infertile, right? And they engage in intercourse, or they're married, right? Is it wrong?
And they've already had kids.
They've already had kids.
No, it's not wrong because they're
Okay. So a gay person, right, earlier in their life has kids, and then later in their life wants to engage in gay intercourse. Is it wrong?
Yes.
But why? What's the symmetry breaker between these two circumstances that means that it's wrong in one and not the other?
Because men can still have kids even to like an old age. So
No,
men.
the woman in this scenario cannot.
But you're
So it's not going to be produced from the intercourse.
You're talking about the gay guy.
Appreciate the rose. Thank you so much. No, I'm talking about the straight couple that's one of them's infertile.
Yeah, I said that's fine because they're already in a loving marriage.
No. There's literally no. You're not giving me a logical symmetry breaker here.
What?
You're not giving me a symmetry breaker between these two circumstances, right?
No.
It's both of them don't lead to reproduction.
No, what you just told me now was a gay person had kids earlier on during his life, right? And then after he became gay and had sex with another.
No, it didn't become gay. He just wants to engage in gay intercourse.
Okay, he wants to engage in gay intercourse, but he already had kids later on in his life. He's still
Earlier on in his life, yeah, already produced.
Yeah. What he's doing is still wrong because he's still having sex with another man, knowing that it can't lead to children. So that's still wrong.
You know, the same thing was true in the other scenario with the man engaging in intercourse with a woman who's infertile.
Yeah, but
Wow. But there's no symmetry breaker there.
Yes, because they're still in a loving relationship. That's my worldview. They're in a loving marriage between a man and a woman. And I'm
Okay. If a man and a man got married.
well, man and man can't get married in my religion. You're talking about my worldview.
Oh, okay. So now it's going to relate to the idea that man and man bad, woman and man good. It's not about reproduction. It's not about any of these other reasons. It simply is just the case that your religion prescribes. Hold up, let me finish. It's that your religion. Hold up, let me finish, bro. It's that your religion prescribes that man and man, not good relationship, man and woman, good relationship. That's it. It's not about the infertile. It's not about anything else.
I literally just said because man and man can't have kids. So it's wrong, yes.
No, it's not about whether or not it can lead to kids, because again, we brought up a scenario where a man engages in intercourse with an infertile woman. That can't lead to kids.
But they've already had kids already.
Okay, same with the person who is the man engaging in intercourse with a man. He already produced children in his life.
No, but he knows that having sex with another man he can't have kids. But they're ready. But
Oh my gosh, same thing is true with the
Bro.
infertile woman. That's not a symmetry
Dude.
breaker.
Yeah, what Parker's outlining.
The previous couple already had kids. They've already done their duty They've already done their duty.
Anything, sorry.
They're in a loving marriage, so they're able to. They should be able to
What
express
Parker's
their love through
you're still
sex.
talking.
They've already
Okay.
had kids. They've already done their duty to the world. This gay couple,
Okay.
they're gay. They can't have kids.
All right, so
They already had kids earlier in their life.
here's what
but
Parker's
what they're
outlining.
doing
Yo,
is-
nobody. I just need you to listen to me real quick. I just need you to listen to me. Here's what Parker's outlining. So Parker is giving you two cases. One case, this gay man has a child, and later in life, he engages in intercourse with another male. Right, gets married to this other male, but like the thing of relevance is the intercourse. When previously he had a child, and then on the other hand, we're outlining this straight man who has a child, then later in life engages in intercourse with an infertile woman. So let's look at step one of both of these thought experiments. Step one is this gay man and this straight man having a child, right? And then step two of both of these thought experiments is going to be the gay man engaging in intercourse with another male, which is going to never yield any reproduction, and the straight man engaging in intercourse with an infertile female, which is never going to yield any reproduction, right? So like there's no like moral relevant difference in these two cases. cases under the assumption that intercourse is to be immoral if it like leads to no reproduction. Yet you continue to assert that it is okay in the case of the straight man to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman because he had had a kid prior in life, and you also continue to assert contradictorily that it is not moral for the gay man to engage in intercourse with the other gay man because of the lack of reproduction, regardless of the child that he had earlier in life. Does this explain it to you a bit better?
Yeah, I understand, but I don't agree. But you guys ain't gonna take in my religious aspect, so what's the point?
Well, what's the symmetry breaker between these two ideals? Both are two men that had kids earlier in life, and both are two men that are engaged in an intercourse that leads to no reproduction.
The difference is, the man and woman, the woman who's infertile, they've already done their duty. They've already had kids.
And this is the same. No, dude. Listen to my words again. Both are men that had kids prior in life. So when you kind of pipe up and say, well, this straight man already did his duty, already had kids. Well, the gay man already did his duty and had a kid as well. Like, this is going to be the same of the gay man.
But that's different because it's just unfortunate circumstances that the woman became infertile. She couldn't have kids, but
we're not talking about the woman at all. Disregard the woman. No, and engage with what I'm saying. No, nobody. Disregard the woman and engage with what we're saying. You are being so dense right now. Stop being dense and comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth. We have two men, right? A gay man and a straight man. Both of these men have had children. The gay man engages in intercourse with another male. It yields no reproduction. The straight man engages in intercourse with the infertile woman. It yields no reproduction. Why is the gay man morally wrong for doing that because that intercourse yields no reproduction? And why is the straight man not morally wrong for doing that, regardless of the fact that it yields no reproduction?
Because they're having sex for no reason. There's no they know it's not going to lead to reproduction.
And this is going to hold true in both cases. So what is the symmetry breaker? The statement that just uttered out of your lips could also be said about the straight man engaging in intercourse with the infertile woman.
Or because I don't personally believe in a relationship or any sexual relationship between man and man, period.
Sweet. But your reasoning...
There it is. That's exactly what I said earlier. The man, bad. Man, woman, good. That's exactly what I said.
Exactly. And this has nothing to do with reproduction. So what you've been arguing this entire time about some correlation to an absence of reproduction is fucking mute, because I just asked you for the symmetry breaker between these two concepts, and your response is, well, you just personally don't believe in man on man.
Yeah.
So what is your reasoning for not believing in man and man on man and man intercourse?
Because apart from the reproduction point, because of my religion, Christianity doesn't put it's a sin.
Yeah, what verse?
God said a woman should be fruitful and multiply.
I did. I texted him. Okay, right? So God said a man and a woman should be fruitful and multiply. And this has nothing to do with Christianity. Well, I mean, it technically does, but this has more to do with the point of reproduction, right? So we just observed two cases where man's not being fruitful and multiplying within the act of sex, but then both of these cases examine how the man did be fruitful and multiply. Oh no, God! So let's just take that word that just came out of your mouth. A man should be fruitful and multiply. Well, this gay man that is engaging in homosexual intercourse was fruitful and did multiply, right? This was examined. He had kids, and then he fucked a dude. Is that immoral?
Yes.
Why?
Because not only did God say be fruitful and multiply, but God also said a man and a woman are one under the eyes of God, not a man and a man.
So again, the whole point here doesn't rely on reproduction. The whole point here relies upon God. No. We're getting to the underlying justification, right? And the underlying justification is God. So if the underlying justification is God, how do we know that this particular God exists in order to indicate to us that these claims about morality are true?
Whether God exists, that's a whole nother discussion.
Well, that's the justification that you
You're
need to
talking
provide. If you don't
you're
have a
talking
justification for that, then your entire position here is mute.
but you don't.
Right? I'm not joking.
Wait, so is it that you don't believe in God, or you just don't believe in a Christian God? What is it?
I don't believe in God in general, but I think that the Christian God is contradictory. Appreciate the hand art. Thank you.
So do you want me to argue for why I think God exists or something?
Yeah, give me a justification. Yeah.
The world is too detailed, it's too creative, it's too complex for it to just come about by chance. It's more likely that it was constructed by a designer or a higher power, which we are seeing is God. And yeah,
Can you prove it's more likely under a creator?
it's more likely because the world is far too complex and it's too detailed for
Is God complex? God's more complex than the Earth, right?
we have epistemic distance. We don't have, not as
What
humans.
do you mean by that?
Epistemic distance is that we don't have there's a certain amount of knowledge that humans don't have, so we can't fathom God's complexity.
So you're just saying, okay, so he's so complex, way more complex. We can't understand the complexity of Earth, generally speaking, right?
We can't fathom what God is, but we can, by the universe and what's in the universe and how detailed and how complex the universe is, we can tell that the universe didn't just come about by chance. There had to be some sort of
Hold on. That's an
power.
assumption. No, that's an assumption, right? Because if we're looking at God here, right, you're saying that God is so complex, right? So why doesn't God require a designer? Because you're saying complexity indicates that there needs to be a designer.
Because if you're saying God needs to require a design, then you're going to say that God has a required designer. We can't just go into a chain of infinite regress and assume
That's exactly what it would result to.
Because with infinite regress, you still have to get to a first cause that starts the chains of.
That's the presupposition of what's called the PSR, the principle of sufficient reason.
I mean,
right? You don't have to hold to that one. Two, right? Infinite regression can be possible. I don't see the contradiction there.
Okay, but it still has
and then three, even if I do, let's say that infinite regression is not possible, it still doesn't justify God as the first cause, right? Can be not like a naturalistic cause, not God.
We have to attribute that first cause to something though, and I'm attributing
it can be naturalistic.
How
fundamental set of
so what?
Yeah, like a fundamental set of particles that would exist in an infinite nature. That would explain, the cause for all causes in the beginning of the universe in a similar fashion to how your theistic deity would, but because it's more simplistic in nature, it's going to be more probable. Matt, thank you so much for that swing.
Wait, so how could those particles you're talking about create a world so detailed and complex that if the sun was 20%, that if the sun was 20% closer to the Earth, we will all burn to death, and if it was 20% further away from the Earth, that we'll all freeze to death? How could a set of particles with no brain or no rationality create such a detailed universe for life to be able to form and societies to be able to form, for humans to be able to like live and coexist? How could just a set of chemicals and particles create something so random? If that's how you want to live your life of random, fair enough.
Let me explain. So what you're really asking here is, why do we have this world rather than another one? Right?
No.
Why did the state of affairs happen this way and be ordered in this way rather than not being ordered, or rather than being in chaos? Right?
That's not what I'm
to a
asking.
greater extent, that is the question that you're asking.
That's not the question I'm asking.
It clearly is. I appreciate that mustache. Thank you so much. Can I finish my statement?
Go on.
Okay. That is the question. We're saying, why is it this way? And the thing is, the same thing is also true under your particular notion, right? God could have had desires in which brought about different realities than were brought up.
Huh? So you say that again?
Yeah, God could, but I know, I see everyone in the fucking chat. I will get to that in a minute. Everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Holy fuck.
I've
chat.
never seen it that guy.
I've never seen it that much too. Like, it's a bit much.
Holy shit.
Right? We're asking the question, why is it this way rather than another one? And the thing is, the set of fundamental particles that came prior to the rest of existence, right, that can have the necessary properties to bring about this reality rather than another one. I appreciate the cap. Thank you so much. In the same way that God has the necessary desires to bring about this reality rather than another one. Right? God could have desired to create only pizzas, or only water bottles, or only Cheez-Its, or only Dr. Pepper bottles, or only Dean going on live in every single universe, right? That could have been what God desired to create, but God rather desired to create this reality. So it's still the case that God had a random set of desires from an infinite set that could have been.
So it's still a god then? You're still talking about a god?
Oh no, he's just
No, I'm saying that you have to have an assumption under both models, under the naturalistic model and under the theistic model, that both suppose that you have these necessary properties.
So you believe that this detailed universe that's so widely complex for our imagination
Homie, this isn't
to
what he's
play
saying at
about
all.
randomly.
This
So you
isn't
think
what he's
that
saying at all. No,
so you
no,
just, so you just,
nobody.
so you think that,
This isn't what he's saying at all.
so
This
how
isn't what
does
he's saying
so
at all.
how does he think?
Can I
about
explain to him? Can I explain to you what he's saying?
God?
So he's saying that okay, there are certain properties that must exist to see life as we know it. Under your worldview, these properties exist because a God set them, and then under your worldview of our worldview, well, they just happened randomly. And our response to this is that this random occurrence actually exists under both worldviews. Thank you for that, Elephant Trunks. Because the randomness, like occurring in such a way for life to be as we know it, would have to occur under the naturalistic worldview, obviously. And under the theistic worldview, this would occur within the brain or the mind of God. In the same way that things could have been any different to not allow for the prevalence of life as we know it under the naturalistic point of view, God's mind could have been any different to not allow for life as we know it under the theistic point of view. So this problem, in quotations, because I don't even really know if it's a problem, is going to exist under both worldviews. Not to mention that my personal take on this is that life could not occur without these specific co-founding variables being just as they are, and we would not be able to observe the variables without life. And it's just kind of a question of we couldn't be here unless the probability of these things occurred in the way that which they do. So then when we're making an observation that they could have been any different, well, like it's just kind of like a really like loaded type of question. Like it is really plausible that we are just like the 0.001% chance off. You know what I mean? And then we're just here. I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining myself that well, but the moral of the story is that both assumptions of the explanation of the universe, theistic or non-theistic, are going to have this randomness either in the mind of God or the particles.
Whether you think it's random in the mind of God or not, the universe, by clear observation, clearly looked designed. And
also, Stacy, and Frodo, thank you guys so much for the Venmos.
Dean, or I mean not Dean, nobody. No, right? Because then the same thing would have been true for God's mind. Okay. So I'm gonna let you finish your response here, and then I'm gonna go to the next person because there's lots of other people, like lots of people in the chat that are like fucking freaking out, right? But like, yeah, you can finish your response. I'm just saying that they exist under both sides.
I have one more
You're just being
question for
dense,
both
man.
of you guys before I head out. So if you saw a watch in the middle of a forest, do you think it just was there, or someone put it there?
Yeah, so we have prior experiences with watches being created by humans. We don't have prior experiences with humans fucking creating universes or their intelligent minds creating universes. So we have no experience to go off of there to like make that inference.
But you would think that someone put it there, nah?
Well, yeah, because we observe humans creating watches.
Yeah, we have literal experience.
That means That means in this whole thing we can
Thank
only
you so
go
much,
human.
Mandy.
That means we can only go off human observation, and we can use that analogy of the watch to the analogy of the world. It's just how the watch.
No, because we don't observe humans creating worlds. That's
Okay,
a
but
logical symmetry breaker.
We can still make that same analogy from what we know of human observation.
No, we can't make that analogy because a symmetry breaker exists. We observe humans creating watches. We don't observe humans creating worlds.
Then
If a symmetry breaker exists, then an analogy cannot be made.
Then if you're gonna say that, then that means we can't talk about anything because we don't have.
No, we just can't talk about a fine-tuning argument that would be indicative of a human creation being in the middle of the forest than an assumption of on its of if it's a human creation or not.
Then I don't think there's a point of the argument because if we can't make these analogies through our own human observation and what we know, then like that to the world, then what's the point? Because that's what we know as humans. We're obviously limited in our knowledge and our intuition.
Well, then it seems as if this is just a bad argument because no matter how you frame the argument, a symmetry breaker will exist.
Yeah, you can say
This is the big problem with the fine-tuning argument. Like you just detailed and outlined the problem with a fine-tuning argument. Exactly. And I appreciate that, Cap.
You can't prove that God doesn't exist. Same way.
Yeah, we fucking can, right? Proof by contradiction. very easily. It's really not difficult. Like these problems, I'm not joking, are really easy to understand. They are. Most people just either don't try to understand them or they have confirmation bias, which will simply not even let them understand them. There are very, very, very strong arguments against religion, like very fucking strong, right? That's why it was so hard for me to sit there and try to rationalize that position, even though I wanted to so badly.
So if you had a religious experience right now that was so overwhelming and felt so true to you, would that change anything?
Like, what would be this type of religious experience, right? Do I just feel good on the inside?
No,
or
like,
are you saying like I literally see a God, or
Yeah.
God takes me up to heaven,
yeah,
right? And we do do shit.
yeah, something like that.
God shows me things about my life that I couldn't have possibly heard from anything else.
Yeah, something like that. God's speaking to you, and it feels so real to you that you can't deny it. If you got something like that, which a lot of people
That's different from like what you hear people say commonly. People, when they say commonly, they're like, oh, they hear like or actually here. By the way, I wanna get to this point and be done because like I know the chat is fucking doesn't want to do this. But sorry, can you restate what you just said? I'm sorry.
the chat. But yeah, what would you do
For what?
if you had that religious experience?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go through the experience.
So would that change your mind at all?
Likely not.
It won't.
For what? From what people commonly explain. Yeah, like this like warm feeling on the inside. I felt that before.
No, not a warm feeling like you actually see God, like he takes you up to heaven, he speaks to you, tells you things about your life.
Depends on things prior. Was I dreaming? Is it DMT?
No, you weren't dreaming. Like it felt so real to you.
Like just walking around daily normal activities and that happens.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, let's say.
And then I'd probably like question more. I don't know. I'd have to go through the experience.
So it shows that it's not 100%. You don't 100% believe God does exist, because if you did, you'll say no.
Stacey, I appreciate the Venmo. Thank you so much. No, this would just be likely explained by something that isn't the Christian God.
I'm currently like documenting the most dense guest I've ever talked to, so just don't mind me.
Fair enough. Anyways, you guys have a good night. I'm out.
Peace out, man. All right, we're gonna go to the next person. Only if you disagree, only send a guest request. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 3 million likes real quick. Again, everyone, 4.1 million likes to beat out Dean, chat. 4.1 million likes. We're fucking running it up, chat. We're running it up.
He's lying. He's crazy. 3.9 million likes to beat out Dean, guys. 3.9
Yo, chat. That is a yikes, chat. That is a yikes. Keep tapping that fucking screen, everyone. Thank you for the Franktastic. I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How do you do this? Can't. How do you
Thank you, Nick.
How old are you?
I'm 68.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I'm trying to figure out how to turn camera on. I've never done this before, Parker. I don't know how to do this.
I mean, if that's like a major point of contention to you debating, Parker could just send you a request to turn
No,
on your camera.
I've been watching Parker all day, and I'm very intrigued by his knowledge and everything. And I'm gratefully. I would like to make a suggestion that he teach debating at college or something, so he is very good at it. But what
I don't know if any college will hire me, but yeah.
But what I just wanted to get on to say is that, okay, my platform is love and respect everyone, no bullying everyone. So I have no qualms about what people feel. Everybody's entitled to do what they want to do. My platform, like I said, is no bullying, love and respect everyone. And I see that, even though I may not agree with your stance or anything like that, as a human being, you're a wonderful person. And Dean, you just got on there and you're full of knowledge. I'm very impressed by your knowledge also. I was wondering if I could sing a song, because I believe that the whole world could come together, and I'd like to sing the song. This is my anthem song. I just want to kind of break up the ice a little bit and put something in here a little different, just kind of a commercial break for you.
No, I'm going to let you do it. I'm actually going to let you do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. This is my anthem song. I adopted this song because I do believe that everybody, no matter color, race, where they live in the country, anywhere, that this can happen. And this is my anthem song. This is a song I adopted.
Leaving your mark, which is why we're excited to offer you the first ever fingertips.
And thank you very much, Parker. I appreciate you allowing me to do this.
Of course, bro. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, well, I've been watching you all day, buddy. You know that. And I'm impressed with you.
Appreciate it.
Everybody out there, just remember, we all on this world to be together and to love one another. Okay? That's the important thing. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Thank you very much, Parker. I appreciate you, man. And
Appreciate it, man.
You are
Appreciate the love.
you are very well educated, and I don't debate or do anything like that, because I believe that everybody is entitled to believe what they want to believe. Everybody is entitled to live
Yes,
life
sir, man.
in peace. And
Well, hey, man, thank you so much for coming up.
people
Thank you so
should
much for
learn
coming
to
up.
love one another and put all differences aside and just love us for being humanity. And when I was listening to you today, this song was just ringing in my head, because it's basically what you're preaching is that, everybody is entitled to be who they want to be. I love you, Parker. You
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic night.
Have a
But
good
I'm
one,
going to
man.
get out of here and let you have your show back, because
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, bro.
be blessed. And
Have a great
Dean-
night.
Dean, you're well educated too, man. It's good to see young people that are well educated like you two are. God bless
Thank you. I
both of
appreciate it, man. Have a great
Good
day.
one.
Okay, bye.
Also, Scott, thank you so much for the Venmo. Your message made me giggle.
Let's go on to the next person. Everyone tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 4.1 million likes, everyone. Again, if you like the content, share the live, copy link, send it to a few friends who will help get out to more people. We're trying to get some debates up here real quick. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, y'all.
And Lisa, thank you for the Venmo as well, y'all. Make sure we're tippity tapping away on that phone screen up to 3.9 million likes, y'all. But make sure we stop once we hit it. That's the goal. That's the goal. And share the live to a couple friends. We are so close to 2,000 shares. What's going on, man? Do you think it is wrong or immoral to be gay?
Yes. I think it is immoral.
How old are you?
20.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir. But I think that it is wrong and immoral. But it's coming from just everything. I feel everything is made with a purpose. Well, not feel, but no. Just simply from the doors. You got doors. They made to close and shut things. You got TVs, they made to entertain. You got headphones, they made to wear so you can listen to things. Everything was made with a purpose. And on the outside, when you break that, whatever, that's immoral. Like when you use it, I guess in the wrong way, in a sense. I'm trying to like, I'm not trying to waste a whole bunch of time, so I'm gonna run through things. I know y'all been on there about 20 hours with one person, but okay, so I guess I'm gonna say this like, if your body was made to do this and that, like your male has that part, a female has that part, right? Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be, but you know. Then
Um,
you gonna bring up what's it called about infertility, right? But
well,
No, I'm gonna ask you this question, right? Because you were bringing up something called natural teleology, right? You apply some sort of purpose to some sort of natural function that exists, right? Based upon its common usage. So let me ask you this question, right? What is the natural purpose of my mouth?
it's the talk, it's the bring in food. Yes, sir.
Is it wrong for me to kiss my girlfriend?
I mean, nah,
is it
No.
wrong to play a
but
flute?
No.
like,
Okay, but so like, are those were not in the context of the natural purpose that you just gave? Yet they're not wrong.
but it's the thing though, like, all right. So in this sense, like, I'm a Christian, but I'm not finna bring up the same biblical uh passages that they've been bringing up before. I'm gonna bring up this one that y'all didn't look at, which is Romans 1 verse
By the way,
26
natural
through
teleology,
28.
you just kind of walked off of. And then when we relate to Romans, right, we can just reference idolatry, right? Like that's going to be the common usage when it relates to that. And next, right,
But it says clear. It says
Yeah,
it clear right here.
yeah, it's relating to idolatry, right? That's
No.
what it's actually referencing. If you look at the Greek.
Do you want me to explain how it's related to idolatry?
Can I at least read it though?
Can I explain to you
Yeah,
how?
but that's
like,
not going to be the correct reference because I mean it's not in the Greek, right? So there's going to be I don't know why people are saying age check and stuff in the chat.
Man, I'm 20. I'm born in 2003,
What's your birthday?
April 29th.
Okay.
Are you an Aries or a Taurus?
I don't believe in that. I believe in God. God made he got me perfect.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So when we're talking about Romans, and this is like condemning homosexuality, Parker's gonna be right how this is just actually condemning idolatry, right? So like he's also right. Like we could reference the original Greek for this, and then also reference the Greek Roman society in which Romans was written in by Paul. So in Greek Roman society, homosexuality, thank you for the superpower, didn't exist in the same sense that it does today. We didn't just see like two consenting men in love or engaging in intercourse. All we did see was male prostitution. There was businesses for this. Men would own, like, enslave, like, young males and then sell them or rent them to rich older males to be used and to have their sexual frustrations taken out upon. And all that Romans is talking about is how it's like wrong to like, prostitute someone or how it's wrong to engage in intercourse with a prostitute, right? All it's just condemning idolatry, right? And like, I'm more than willing to concede that under your worldview, that's going to be bad, right? But like, this isn't the reference being made as far as consensual homosexual intercourse goes because A, consent didn't exist, and B, homosexual intercourse didn't exist in the same regard.
Look, can I at least read the verses where it says it very clearly though? Because this is the thing right here. I spend a
me.
lot of time reading in Greek too. Like I studied the Bible
No,
too. Though.
no. Look, homosexuality, any way you want to put it, what it's referring to is male prostitution.
How are you gonna
Homosexuality,
tell me? Oh,
because it didn't
no,
exist
it
in the same
doesn't
regard.
say homosexuality in the verse. Let me read it, please. It don't say that. It says this right here. That is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turned against the natural way to have sex and instead indulged in sex with each other. And the men, instead of having normal sexual relations with women, burned with lust for each other. Men did shameful things with other men, and as a result of this, they
Right,
suffered within themselves.
right. Tylen, what I'm talking about is Romans was written by Paul in Greek Roman society. The shameful things with other men that it's talking about is prostitution. Consentful homosexual intercourse didn't exist. Point
Are
blank.
you not
period.
saying? I didn't say shameful desires just by itself. I said even the women turned against the natural way to have sex and indulged in it with each other. I didn't just say shameful desires. I didn't just say shameful desires. It has
Homie,
several
literally
names.
all it's talking about was prostitution. Like
No, it's not. It says with each
bro. No,
other.
thank you. No. Greek. Like, thank you so much for the Forever Rose. Read the Greek lexicon. Like, sorry, the Greek Roman lexicon. Like, unironically, homosexuality didn't exist as it does today. Just
Can
like
I
super
get you to
free.
pull that up and read it real quick?
Bro,
Good.
dude, do you want to get someone up here who can? Like,
Please,
I mean, like,
look.
Matt,
like, yeah.
One thing I realized too.
we can bring
is
up
this
a
the
wild
thing.
librarian if you'd like, real quick.
That's cool, but this one thing I realized you said that y'all both said to other people earlier about how people like in religion or have a belief on God, they only pull up sources that come from the same belief, right? But y'all are doing the same thing. Y'all only pulling up sources that's from science. Y'all not pulling up nothing else that could
No, the
prove
source
a
from
point
this
of
is the
otherwise.
laws of Greek. It's the Roman laws when this was written. Like, that's the source, the lexicon.
Well, can you read it up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to have
Do
someone.
you want me?
else.
Do you want me to bring someone up who actually knows Greek?
Yeah, Romans 1,
Yeah, or
1,
no,
26
Tylen?
to 28. And also, well, actually, I get on that afterwards. But the thing is too, like y'all not open to like accepting that God could be true as well. So like y'all only looking on things that
Yeah, I don't accept
go
that
against them.
contradictions could exist.
The thing is, how does God's not contradicting himself? Your interpretation is incorrect.
No, it's not my interpretation. That's what it is. Okay. So do you want to go through the problem of evil?
The what?
The problem of evil.
Sure. Hey, that's.
Do you think that God has free will?
like he gave us free will?
Does God have free will?
Oh, for him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a sense, but he's righteous. Therefore, everything that he does is righteous. Like,
Is good. Yeah, I understand that, right?
Yeah.
But he has free will. He doesn't do evil ever, right?
nah.
Okay. So you can have free will and never do evil. So can God create humans that have free will and never do evil?
He can, but he didn't though, because he wanted to be a fruit. That's not what free will is. Free will is when you have the ability to do anything. You have the ability to choose God, and you have the ability not to choose God. That's why in the if you go to the Garden of Eden, they chose.
Yeah,
the
can
enemy.
I reference this real quick? Because I know
Yes,
how
sir.
this conversation goes through. So like there's gonna be a chance today if I ask you the question that I can do the right thing in all scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the same thing's gonna be true tomorrow. And the same thing's gonna be true every day for the rest of my life, right?
You mean
That I
like
can do
doing
the right thing today in every scenario.
No, you're human.
I don't have that choice. I don't have free will.
You're made imperfect. Like no matter how hard you try, like eventually you're gonna slip up. But like the whole concept of God, like having a relationship.
Wait, no. I could slip up, but like I mean, it also is the case that I might not slip up, right? If it is the case that I cannot, I appreciate the Panther Paws. Thank you so much. That I do not have free will. So yeah, I can. 0.00001% chance, right? It is still the case that there's going to be one world at least that exists in which human beings freely did the good thing in every single scenario, right? Every
No.
single scenario, each one of us, we always chose to do the good thing, right? And that's free will. That is freely determined by us. So the point I'm making is that God is all knowing and all powerful. God sees this world and God can create this world. So clearly speaking, God has a choice between creating this world where there's no evil and free will and this world where there's free will and there's evil.
Why are you
So
bringing
both of them
up
have free
other
will.
worlds, though?
Just one of them has evil and the other does not.
Why are you bringing up other worlds? Like, what's up with that? Like,
I'm talking about other chances, like other things that could have been the case. Like think about this, right? There's two different worlds within the respect that not like worlds that actually exist, but in terms of what could have been, in terms of me either eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch this morning or eating Captain Crunch. There's a possible world where I ate Captain Crunch, and there's a possible world where I ate Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying there? And I'm saying God sees all of those. God sees
Yeah.
each one of those worlds. So if there's one of those worlds, even one of them, in which there is free will and no evil, God would have selected that world as they would have freely done the good thing in every
No.
single scenario. And there's not
will.
going to be, that is free will.
No.
Why is it not free will?
He made one. Look, he made one word. He made one world, right? And all of us have free will. Like, why are you coming to? He would select this and that.
Yeah, no. Listen, again, God knows every possibility from free will. So I'm saying that God sees all these different possible worlds and God selects one from them. All of them have free will. Every single one. They're all freely determined. The same way that this world has free will would be the same way that that world has free will, because it was just a different choice that we made.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like right now, that's like this is the one world that God made. There's a spiritual side and there's a physical side to it. Now, it might be a lot of influences that make you make a certain choice, but at the end of the day, like you still have that free will, and God's gonna let you do what you do. Like that's just that. It's not God gonna choose. Which it's not God gonna choose. I'm gonna choose him doing this instead of him doing this. That's not free will. I'm really trying to
No,
understand
no,
what
no.
you're
I'm
getting
not.
at,
I'm not.
bro.
I'm not saying that he's choosing them doing this. I'm saying that they chose to do this, and God just sees that world.
I guess I kind of get what you're saying, but are you saying like
Because they're the
God sees
ones
all the
determining it.
possibilities?
God just knowing of this world doesn't mean God determined what they do, right?
Yeah. Okay. So where you getting at though?
Okay.
Like,
So
what's the
God
whole?
knowing of this world's existence doesn't mean he determined it. Then that's going to clearly tell us that God can cause this world into existence the same way God caused this world into existence. And it's going to literally lead to the same outcomes. It's just an alternative timeline. It's like if one of those what if videos. You ever watch a what if video? What if this event didn't happen? What if World War II didn't happen? It's the same thing. We still have free will if World War II didn't happen. It just means different events were chosen by human beings. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah. So like I'm saying,
I appreciate the
I know
subscription.
we
Thank you
at
so much.
this. I'm just trying to understand where's this leading back to what we saying? No disrespect.
That's exactly
to,
what I'm saying. So God has a choice between a world where there's free will and no evil, and a world where there's free will and evil. Given that we exist in the world where there's evil, because God is all good and selects the most preferred thing in every single scenario, that means that God prefers, right, sin over no sin, which entails a contradiction.
I
Because
see what you're
sin
saying, though.
is
I see what
against
you're saying,
God's
though.
preference. And then it
You
would
got the wrong
result with
idea.
a statement that God prefers a world in which is against God's preference. That's a
You got the wrong
contradiction.
idea. You got the wrong idea now. I see what you're saying. It's like this right here. God is like we're sinners, but God is working with us. That's why basically he's like that's why Jesus came also so that we can be reunited with him. And eventually after this world ends, we're gonna have a new earth and a new body. But this is like basically like the whole like point of God in the Bible. It's like a love story of God coming back to us, like you know what I'm saying, reuniting with God. So he's working with us. That's what you kind of not getting. Even though we're corrupted and we're doing all these things, he's working with us. So it's not the necessity of him trying to
So,
choose.
does God prefer there being child sex trafficking, genocide, slavery
No, he
over
doesn't
no
choose that.
child sex trafficking, no slavery, and no genocide?
No, he doesn't choose that. But if he made a real, if
No, no,
he
no. Which
really
one
made
would God
a
prefer?
free
Just let me
will,
know.
he chooses for it to not be that. But at the end of the day, like
He would
no,
choose for
no,
it to not be that. Okay, so
yeah,
again, Mandy, I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. If it is the case that you know as a fact that he would choose the world where this does not happen, if it is the case that this didn't happen and God could have done it, that means that God doesn't exist. Because
no,
you would see this world, okay? And that's exactly what I'm saying is that this God doesn't exist because we exist in this reality rather than existing in a better reality, right?
that's
Which
the
would be
thing.
expected given that God is all knowing, all powerful, and all good.
You
And this is actually
exist
even
in
under
this
your view. This
reality
is an
though
internal
because you
critique.
reject them. You exist in this reality though because you reject them.
No,
I
wait,
don't
I don't
exist in
reject
that
him.
same.
Your own position rejects him.
No, listen. If all that didn't happen, would this really be a free world? Be a free will
Yeah, that would
world?
still be free will.
No, it's not. Look. All right, let me see how it does
Explain why
real
it's
quick.
not free will. Because it's the same notion of free will that God
Basically,
has, one, and then two, it is also the case that they freely chose it as I freely chose this world, right?
it's just like this right here. How can I put this? All right, so God made us, right? God made us. He set down principles for everything to be free will, correct? He set down these are the principles that you live on. At the end of the day, this is what he wants for you. At the end of the day, he created you and you have a life. Therefore, you can do whatever you want with it. But it says, just like it says in the word, I believe it says Paul says this right here. He says, all things are lawful to me, but not all things are good for me. Therefore, it's like it's just all that, like everything in the world. There are a lot of things you can do in this world, but just because you do them, that don't mean God accepts it. That don't mean God thinks that's cool.
Yeah,
If you
Tylen,
look,
we know
they
all
got
this.
punished.
Trust me, we know all this. This is just like lore around Christianity. We already understand, right?
Yeah.
There's a contradiction entailed by your worldview here, right? It's very, very clear. It's right in front of you, right? You already know that God doesn't like sin. You know that God doesn't want sin to happen. If it is the case that God can get rid of sin without getting rid of free will, God would do it, right?
He already does do it though.
If God can get rid of sin without getting rid of free will,
Look
would
at
God
me.
do it? Appreciate that mustache.
Look at me. Look at my life. Look at my life.
Yes. So you're saying that he
We
does. So
are
again, in this,
testimonies of
so again, God. So if you're saying God does this already, God can extend it further. Again, you're
Yes.
still entailing a contradiction here. Do you see the contradiction?
God can do it for anybody though. Like that's you not getting. Just because all this is happening to certain people right now, he can do that. He can change anybody's life. Like
Well, look. So
Doesn't that affect free will?
all
No.
Parker's
you have to choose
saying,
him.
all Parker's saying is there's going to be like an infinite amount of like possible worlds, an infinite amount of like possible actions and reactions that will occur like naturally with free will. Do you accept that notion?
Say it again.
There's an infinite amount of actions and reactions. Thank you so much for that, Galaxy. That like could occur. Do you accept that?
Yeah, could I accept that? Yeah.
Right. And these infinite amount of actions and reactions could occur with free will. Do you accept that?
Indeed.
So, if God likes free will and doesn't like sin,
Oh no.
then why wouldn't he choose
Got you.
one
He
of
never
those
said
sets of
like-
actions and reactions that would be inducive of free will, but not deducive of sin?
He never said he liked free will. He never said he liked free will.
That's a lie.
God
That's
gave it to
actually a
you.
lie. No,
God
that's
gave it
actually
to
a
you.
lie. That is actually a lie.
Where does he say
No.
he likes free will? God gave it to you.
Right.
I think y'all misunderstand.
Within him giving it to you, he says that he likes it because he's all good. So the statement in of itself that he engages in action entails that he likes it because saying that it's good, and something is good is something that God likes. Appreciate the rose. Thank you so much. So any action God engages in, there is an if and therefore statement. If God engages in this action, God likes that action. That would be the therefore statement. So there's an if then statement.
Then
Y'all
like
got it
also,
wrong, though.
would God like free will and sin or free will and no sin? Which one would God like more?
Of course he would like free will and no sin. But
So
this is
then
the thing.
No, here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. God would like free will and no sin, but God did not choose free will and no sin. So this is either going to have a contradiction of God not being all powerful or a contradiction of God not being all good.
But that's why you basically just proved me right. Think about this like this. If God is giving you free will, why would he try to take that away? Like it's just
No.
right
In this
there.
sense,
my
he's not
God.
taking it
Oh
away.
my
Like
God.
he's just going to
He
reject
gave
the
you- he
idea that it
gave
takes
you your
it.
life.
So I don't think
my
this is.
God.
We're gonna have no movement on this because all you're gonna say is that like it takes away free will when it doesn't take away free will. It's still just as much free will as I have free will now.
Well, I got
don't
another
see the reason
opinion
why it's
then.
different. But yeah,
I
you
got
can go.
another opinion then. All right, so-
Dude, it was the way I literally prefaced the question. Free will and sin or free will and no sin. Both of them have free will.
Yeah,
God
I know.
would like-
Everyone does this. It's actually really common for people to say this.
Really?
But the thing is, Adam
Even
and
though
Eve
you prefaced
chose
it that
sin though. Like God rather it be him. That's why he put them in the presence of him. That's why they was in the presence of him, you know, in the garden. But they still, at the end of the day, chose the other side, and that's why he separated them. That's why, like, for example, like, I'm not no disrespect, y'all. Of course, it's all love. But like, okay, so for example, can you in your own eyes witness the effects of God, where God is, or like works in your life? Can you see that?
No.
No.
You know why? Because you're not in His presence. So like, therefore,
I
I
was
wonder why.
I was in God's
you reject him.
presence. I was in God's presence for like 16 years. I went to Catholic private school church 3 times a week, confirmed at 16, baptized at 3 months.
that don't mean
Never
nothing.
felt or saw God.
Do you know what baptism is? Baptism, that's a visual. That's a visual thing. Like your heart is what really needs to change. If you're not gonna just like baptism is a symbolic thing. If your heart is not where it's supposed to be, you can
Homie,
get baptized.
Dude,
million
look,
times
all
and
I'm
still
saying
go
is
to
that you're
hell.
just pulling out the Christian flashcards at this point, and coming from an ex-Christian who fucking truly did believe in
You just
God
said
and
you went
had
to
the heart in the
Catholic
right
school.
place. I stopped believing in God because God didn't reveal himself to me. I didn't feel God. That's all I'm trying to say.
You say you was going to. You say you was going to Catholic though. How is
Nah,
that
I
Christian?
grew up non-denominational. That Catholic is Christian, by the way. It's a denomination of Christianity. There's Protestantism. There's non-denominational Christians. There's Catholics. There's many different types of denominations you can relate to.
Why I say this right here? One thing I do know is that in the Catholic faith, I find that they pray to things that are not God. They pray to saints and all
It's called
type of things.
intercessory prayer. So it's like
Yeah.
they're asking Mary to pray for them.
Yeah, and I don't understand
Because
that
Mary
because she
has
was
a
a
close
human.
because Mary has a closer relationship with God than they do.
But no, she don't. She dead. She can't come back. She can't talk.
No,
for you.
that's their idea.
Jesus is
Because
Lord.
again, that's their idea because they believe that again there's notions they believe, right, that they can interact with her, right, and that she can interact with him. That's the idea. So it's not.
No, it doesn't.
It definitely does. Like,
No, it doesn't.
in fact, if you go on YouTube, there's this guy. He's so good. He goes up to colleges and he had these great debates with people. I can't remember his name, but I promise you, if you just look it up, you're gonna find him.
I know that
He
old
can
guy that you're
disprove
talking
all of
about.
y'all.
I know that
I know
old
exactly
guy.
who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I know
It's
he
either
can
Kent
do y'all
Hovind or it's that one younger guy who like goes around. I know exactly what he looks like and what he sounds like.
Man. And you say
Right.
he
So
can't disprove y'all?
what I'm getting at here, man, is that you're saying that being gay is caused by socialization of the idea, or like some social impact, and that frankly that's just not true. So the Netherlands Institute for Brain Research, the Center for Neurodoctrine Studies at the University of Pittsburgh in Massachusetts, the Center for Neurochronology at UCLA, and a couple their institutions have done a lot of research into like sexual orientation, and quite literally all of the findings are like correlations between sexual orientation and like one's anatomy or genome. Like the study that I've had behind me since you made the claim that it's caused due to socialization, you know, is a study that explores like correlations between the size of a part of the brain and one's sexual orientation, and we see a very strong correlation. I mean, I could, you know, just
Trauma affects your
modify-
brain too, though. Trauma affects your brain too. To certain thing, like how.
Right. So now you're starting a very scientific conversation that you are not going to understand. Right. So neuroplasticity is going to be like an effect on the brain due to external causes, right? And like when we're talking about neuroplasticity, we can only talk about it in like very specific regards or confines. And no, neuroplasticity cannot cause one's interior commissures to grow or shrink in size. Neuroplasticity cannot change the neuronic substructure of the AI NH3 subsection of the hypothalamus or the dendritic density experienced are the levels of neurohormones, or like the density of neurons, or like the volume of gray mass in the putamen. And there's been associations deemed between all of these parts of the brains and sexual orientation, right? And neuroplasticity definitely cannot affect the genome, and we've seen associations between sexual orientation and the genome, such as the XQ23 chromosome. So don't talk about what you don't know about. Honestly, at this point, you're just trying to scapegoat to these random ass fucking statements of you just, stringing words together when you don't know much about
I'm
the
not
words that you're
stringing words
saying
together. I spend
to
a
make
lot
a
of time
counter
studying,
argument.
bro. I spend a lot of time watching things to learn. The thing is, I just don't have all these big old fancy words that you using to try to make people sound stupid. But
I'm not trying to make you sound stupid. No, it's because the big fancy word, we're talking about neurology, dude. Nothing, I didn't say any big fancy words. I was just very specific and articulate about what I was talking about. And
Look,
what
at the
I'm
end of the day,
talking
they can
about
work
are
without-
correlations
without.
shown between parts of the brain and sexual orientation. And this is a scientific consensus upheld by institutions of brain research, upheld by institutions of medicine, upheld by medical professionals. And the only individuals who do not uphold it are individuals such as yourself that have prejudice against gay people and do not have an education on the anatomy of the human body, right? And when you make claims such as it is due to socialization, but then you cannot back that with a single academic piece, you cannot back that with a single institution, and you definitely cannot back that with a single medical professional, and then I come in and I share my sources, I tell you the name, I show you the DOIs and shit, I even change my background to them, I name the specific institutions, I name the specific parts of the brains, and I name the specific parts of the genome, what we're going to see is a huge issue and like depth to our countering position. I have so much justification and you have none, and that's the issue.
No, bro. Like, listen, bro. You did all that just now, but like the fact is, you never gonna understand. Like, because of your point, you're only looking for things that reject God. Therefore, if you only reading all this information that reject God, yeah, you have this understanding, but you still lacking the power thereof that God is involved in the mix. Like, you missing the whole thing. It's like you saying all this and that, but it doesn't. Like, it's not saying nothing for real.
No,
Because
you're not going to gaslight me into thinking that I have a confirmation bias on this. And I know that I don't have a important bias called confirmation bias and disarray it into a counter argument. You can't use confirmation as a counter argument because you can't justify that confirmation bias actually existing. And then when I share you my anecdotal life story of doing my research when I had a confirmation bias that would be biased towards your worldview, it fucking falls apart. So instead, construct a counter argument with something that would actually counter my claims, such as a medical documentation or an academic study that would show that I am wrong because it counters it, or the name of one institution, the name of one peer reviewer, or the name of one scientific observation or academic study that would counter mine. You know what I mean? It's just like you're out here making these abundantly misled willful ignorance and your confirmation bias to what you believe in, and then when I ask you for a response on the science that disproves what you're saying, you are fucking lost for words.
this is the thing though, bro. You coming on here with all this and that, all these I guess you could say all these research documents and all this and that. But you're not really having nobody like you don't have on the top part where it says why is being gay wrong. You have anything saying come with this and that, come with this and that. All you doing is telling off the head. You're not telling nobody to come with all this and that. If that was the case, I would have been prepared for all this.
Well, I'm not. It's not stated because it's expected. If we're gonna make claims about the external reality around us, we want to make sure that they're rational, right? So when you enter into this space and you are proponed with an extremely well substantiated rational position on the issue, and you have a claim that has no substantiation and lacks all forms of rationalization, that is why you lose. You can't blame that on your lack of research, because the lack of research is why you lose, man. It's we should all collectively be striving for a higher for our beliefs and to become more rational individuals and of ourselves. Don't use like your lack of rationale and substantiation as like, some like counter argument against mine.
Well,
That should just
in
be something
fact,
we
I
all
use the
strive to
Bible,
do.
but if you don't, but like I use the Bible, but the same way how you saying all this and I reject it, if I bring the Bible to you and reject it, like it's
Well, your
nothing I
original
can really
claim is
do.
that being gay is a choice or caused by
No,
socialization.
I ain't. No.
That's
I
the
ain't,
claim.
no, that's not a
that was
choice.
the claim I was dismantling.
No. I ain't say it was a choice because it's like certain things that happen in your life that cause you to think a certain way. Just like how if you were raised up around a certain environment,
so prove
you're gonna
it.
think a certain way.
So
That's
prove
just common sense. Like if
No.
if your parents are very hateful people and like they, have
No,
have
prove
like
a
lot of-
correlation between that and sexual orientation because the science disagrees with you, man.
That's common sense though.
It's common
What?
sense. So no, it's I thought it was common
Tillian.
sense, to
So
be
like
honest.
the issue with your sources or when you're relating to this, right, or lack of sources actually, is that there are associations, right, when it relates to trauma, right, and like people who are gay, right, at higher rates, right. But the issue with this is that it's spurious, right, and it's just that. It's just a correlation, right.
Yeah.
So it's really, really weak in terms of demonstrating to us whether or not, right, being gay is caused by these particular events. So the evidence is not conclusive when it relates to that. So you coming on here and you making claims that like these types of experiences like lead people to be gay, not only is it wrong, but it's harmful within the respect that you're spreading information that you don't know it's true. So when you ask the question, like, you should put this in the background of like, you have to have all these resources and stuff like that. That's expected because of these different types of claims. You're on a platform in front of thousands of people right now, right? This isn't just like you're having a conversation in a fucking Discord call, right? You're making a claim in front of lots of people. And the way that impacts people is really, really important. That's why it's important to ensure that we have accurate information. And that's why we ask for sources. That's why we check claims. Right?
Hey.
We have to know that the information that we're seeing right in front of us is accurate. And that's exactly why I come on here and I debate against these topics, is because when you just base it upon faith, there's no process to do that. There's no process to confirm or disconfirm a claim. There's no process to know whether or not someone's lying. There's no process to know whether or not something is reliable. And that's the fundamental issue with their position.
Hey, at the end of the day, my Bible, my Lord, that's my research right there. And we ain't finna. We obviously ain't finna see eye to eye, but I know that you don't believe, and therefore, if you don't believe in this,
Yeah, so where in the
it's okay
Bible
if I
does it
pray
say
for
that
y'all?
being gay is caused? No, 1 second. You said your Bible is your research. What
Yes,
verse
sir.
in the Bible says that being gay is caused by socialization?
I
That
didn't
was a
say
claim
that.
you made, and you said the Bible was your research. That was another
No,
claim you made.
I used the Bible to show y'all that it was wrong. I used the Bible to show y'all that it was wrong.
No, you named a verse, and then I gave you
Yeah.
like an articulated, view with like more intelligence on the Bible and its
You really
context than
didn't,
you
though.
do. No, I completely explained it to you, man. You mentioned Romans, and then I outlined Greek-Roman society. Roman lexicon and to do with male prostitution and how that was misused as a
it
form of
said clearly
idolatry
it
in
had
society. No, it says. Clearly, if you understand the society in which it was,
sleeping
it
with
honestly
other
just
men,
seems like
that
you need to.
translates to prostitution. Men sleeping with other men, having a desire to sleep with other men, and doing it and having sex the unnatural way. That translates in Romans all the way to prostitution. You're not making sense right now.
No,
And I understand you really
you're not
trying
making
to,
sense
bruh.
because you're being dogmatic. No, you want to
Bruh.
hang on to this worldview where being gay is wrong, and the thing that
I don't hate
refute this
nobody
world.
that's
No,
gay.
no, don't
I think
interrupt
that's
me.
what you
Don't
think.
interrupt me. Don't interrupt
I think
me.
that's
No,
what
no,
you
no,
think.
don't interrupt me. So, you want to hang on to this worldview that being gay is wrong because it says so in the text of Romans, and the only way that you can do this is by like willfully not educating yourself on the Bible in its context. As soon as you accept like a fucking ounce of education on the context in which the Bible was written in, specifically on Paul, Greek and Roman society and the culture of the day, and the prevalence of homosexuality and the way in which it was shaped inside of the society, and then then you will understand a more nuanced perspective of the words on the Bible. But you're just gonna say, no, I don't want to do that because I want to continue to think that being gay is wrong, right?
Too.
And then like, bro, like, and like, see, my big contention, my whole big contention is that like we cannot show, you know, any like plausibility to the words of the Bible as being objective, you know, like divine command of what is right and what is wrong, unless we can first substantiate the idea that the Creator exists. Parker earlier tried to run you through the plausibility or like, you know, possible contradictions that would exist within the God. But I have a very simple question for you, right? So when we're talking about the existence of the Christian God, we're really going to be talking about one instance, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. When we are trying to confirm like historical events, when we're going to be talking about historical and archaeological evidence. So could you please give me any historical or archaeological evidence that would support the notion that A, God, Jesus was divine, or B, that Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into the heavens?
Yeah, hey, matter of fact, hey, yeah, all right, so if you actually look up the facts on Jesus, they found his blood. They found his blood, and it's still alive today. So if you could look that up for me.
Right. So no, I don't need to look it up. I don't need to look it up. The individual that found this, his name was Ron Wyatt, right?
No,
but
it's
see,
more than him.
No, his name's Ron. Parker, am I wrong on this?
To my knowledge, that you're right.
Yeah, no, we're going to be looking at Ron Wyatt. And Ron Wyatt said he found Jesus' blood and like said it existed in a divine nature. He never showed a test. He never showed a blood. No one else ever saw the blood. No one else ever saw any tests. That you can't go online and look up the tests. You can't go online and look up the blood. We don't have any justification beside his word that blood even existed. We don't have any type of substantiation
Look it up
from his word that it's
Look it
divine.
up right now.
But are you kidding me? I
It
already
got tested. Look it up.
I already have, Thailand. It hasn't been tested.
Bro, but
By
this
the
right
way,
here,
blood like that cannot be around for that long.
Yeah.
It's like not how it works.
it's the living God. Anything could be around that long. That's y'all not understanding. God can break any barrier of your normality. What you see.
Then why didn't God write the Bible himself? It's an unreliable process. It makes it simply unreliable.
All right, let me show you this print. Well, let me tell you this principle right here. For example, okay, so you know on this earth right here, God created us, and He said, "Behold, like I give you dominion over all things on this earth." Right? Okay, so therefore, everything that goes on this earth, whether it's the devil's will or God's will, it has to run through a human. Therefore, like when God does amazing things, He uses His people to do it. That's why there's so many. That's why there's so many prophets. That's why.
What was the original question? The original question was historical or archaeological evidence to support the notion that Jesus rose from the dead. You said his blood. I countered that. Is there any other?
But the Bible is a historical document. It's a reliable historical document written by men that were eyewitnesses.
Yeah,
So it's
512 eyewitnesses that were documented by Paul. He just said that there were 512 eyewitnesses. And if you're basing the justification for your creator off of the amount of the eyewitnesses, well then Shmizianity unironically has 957 eyewitnesses. So is Shmizianity twice as justified as Christianity?
I don't even know what the heck a sneeze in is.
It's another religion with twice as many of eyewitnesses.
At the end of the day, the Spirit of God recognizes the Spirit of God when one has Him.
Bro,
And I
dude,
mean-
at the end of the day, stop just saying God whenever I give you a valid counterpoint. Like, seriously, that's what you've been doing this
But
entire
God
time.
is valid.
No.
God is valid.
Thailand.
That's what I'm
What I'm
understanding.
no, listen to my words. I'm challenging your notion of a God right now. I'm challenging it because I first asked you for historical or archaeological evidence. I dismissed the archaeological evidence that you provided, such as the blood found by Ron Wyatt, on the basis of the fact that there's no confirmation of this and blood couldn't exist for that long. And then historical evidence on the fact of the Bible, because you said there's 510 eyewitnesses. I denoted how we don't actually have records of these. We just have record of someone saying that there were. And then also denoted another religion that has twice as many. And this would plausibly provide that other religion twice as much justification under your own worldview. And then your only response to this is, but God is so great and God's going to save, and Christianity and God and God and God. See, no, that's not a counter argument. That's just you reading off your Christian flashcards.
Okay. Well, I see that I can't really, you feel me? I can't, get you to change your mind. So if there was one last thing I could do, could I pray with y'all boys? I know y'all don't believe. But
Yeah,
you
so
feel
see,
me? I can pray
as
for
soon
you.
as you're As soon as you're put in a corner, you're like, let me pray for you. I can't change
No,
your
cause I'm
mind.
like, I'm like, at least can I pray for y'all boys? Like,
Yeah,
trying to
you
be-
can pray for us.
Yeah,
But
I
like
don't got no hate
my
towards
point
our boys.
my point here is that it seems like you're not willing to engage with any of our points.
But at the end, like I can't read none of the stuff y'all got. Y'all don't have it in front of my face. And
You
even
don't have to
y'all
read. You don't
all
have to
this
read the
time,
things.
though.
Wait, hold up, man. You didn't have to read. I gave you rational arguments right in front of you. We went through them. We explained them.
I
Right,
gave you
we-
rational arguments too. My God is rational. So I mean, at the end of the day, you feel me? Y'all
No,
not,
it's not.
y'all
I'm
not
not going to sit
comprehending.
here and I'm not going to act like it's like it is. Okay. Right. There are clearly really big issues with this particular belief. Right. What particular reasons did you give in response? Right. What rational arguments did you provide?
Training, bro. I just want to pray for y'all boys. I ain't really got nothing else to say for real.
So you're not
I don't
going to
got no hate towards y'all.
Appreciate
Yeah, so
that's his thing.
you lack rationality, but you have prayer, and that's the problem with religion.
Prayer works, bro. And it's not even something that you gonna be able to just like you.
How do you know that
just
prayer
gonna have
works?
to. I see it in front of me, like literally.
Yeah, so that's called a correlation causation again, right? So your entire
But see,
point
that's the
here,
thing, though.
appreciate the cap, thank you so much, relies upon a fallacy that it seems like you don't understand, right? That two things can be associated, but it doesn't mean that one caused the other. Like, for example, right? It is the case that during the summer, there's an increased likelihood of there being violent crime. It is also the case that during the summer, there's an increased likelihood of people consuming ice cream. So is it the case that the increased likelihood of people consuming ice cream causes the increase in violent crime?
Well, if you feel like this is doing nothing, could I at least just do it just because? Like,
He doesn't even want to respond.
Wait. Can you, if you can I'll let you do it. If you can restate to me what I just said to you.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. You had something to do about some ice cream and all this and that, and it being hot outside.
He's not even listening. He's not even listening. He's like unironically like not even listening.
I love asking that question to people because I know they're not listening, right? I know that they're not going to be able to answer it. It's like fucking ridiculous. It is unbelievable, dude.
By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the debates, make sure we're tippity tapping away in that phone screen.
We're really close, everyone. I think we can get another million in tonight. I think we can do it. Dean's quaking in his boots right now. If you do not like Dean, tap that fucking screen, okay? Tap that fucking, you see his face getting red right now, chat. Tap that screen if you hate Dean.
Guys, I'm gonna be following back, DMing and Venmoing someone $10,000 that does not tap on the screen, y'all.
I can't do it, bro. Please, dude. It's so funny. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 19.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
Kinda, or at least I don't know. I just came here to speak about like gay culture in general, as like a gay man, and like what's wrong with it.
Okay, well, wait, so, what?
I just think that okay, like I think there's a big hookup culture in gay like society, and
Or does this have to do with being gay itself, or does it have to do with issues that are related out otherwise?
in the sense that like the two are kind of intertwined now, and it like
Is it wrong to be gay?
No,
Is it wrong to engage in gay intercourse?
sometimes.
Yeah, we know damn well. We know damn well that just relates to like assault or something.
Yeah. Also, guys, I was joking. Everyone tap the fuck out of this screen.
Yeah, of course. We're all trolling. We're all trolling here.
I got like 10 mentions in the comments with people's cash tags, so I just I thought what's going on, man? Do you
Yo,
think it's
what's up,
wrong
how
or
old are you?
moral to be gay?
I'm 20.
Do you think it's wrong or moral to be gay?
I think it's wrong to be gay, to be honest.
Why?
First of all, I don't think it's natural. I don't think that
Define
we
natural.
were born to. I think natural is when you have intercourse with opposite sex, opposite gender. I think that's
Okay.
natural.
Okay. So is are plants natural?
Our plans.
Yeah, are they natural?
What does our plans have to do with?
Is a plant natural? I'm just asking you, is a plant natural?
Oh,
Are
plant?
the trees outside, are they natural?
Oh, you mean plant? Yeah.
When you go to a forest, the trees are natural, yeah? But that's not sex between members of the opposing sex.
Yeah, no, seriously, just to put it out there, you said being gay is wrong because it's not natural. Then define natural as like sex with like the opposing sex, right? So you're just saying that sex with the same sex is not sex with the opposing sex, and this is why you think it's wrong.
No, bro. I think that being gay is wrong, you know. It's immoral. It's immoral. I'm not that smart to explain it in English, but
We asked why.
huh?
We
All right,
asked
man.
30
Appreciate you
minutes
coming on. I think
completed.
there's a language barrier.
Burned
I really think
calories
there's a language barrier. We're gonna go to the next
123
person.
calories.
Only
Heart
send a
rate
guest request if you disagree,
116
everyone. We're
beats
just looking
per
for some
minute.
debates. Yeah, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you think that it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if everyone was to be gay, then life would cease to exist. And not only.
Is it wrong for me to never want to engage in intercourse with someone?
I mean, that's personal choice, but I'm just saying.
Is that personal choice wrong?
This is perspective. So, I mean, you say it's immoral, right? I'm talking about in general, not secluded just to one person. So, yeah, being gay is immoral. Because if we were to all turn gay, then life would
Can you
cease
answer my
to
question
exist.
though? Like, is it you said that it was not wrong for me to never want to engage in intercourse with anyone, but that doesn't lead to reproduction either. So if everyone in society chose not to engage in intercourse with each other, there wouldn't be reproduction either. Yet you didn't consider it to be wrong in that scenario. So with the symmetry breaker between these two scenarios, that means that one is going to be wrong and the other's not.
Yeah, that's how like a group like creates. One person can do something, that's not a problem, but when a whole community does it, then it's a problem.
So okay, it's not wrong for people to have gay intercourse on an individual basis then?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So being gay isn't wrong, all right? All right.
It's immoral. It's
wait,
personal
okay.
choice.
Okay. It's immoral? Wait, why is it immoral?
Because if it's a group that does it, if it's everybody who does it, then it's a problem.
Is infertility immoral?
Define fertility.
Wait, by the way, not everyone's gay. So it's just not applicable to today's society.
Okay, so your question is like, is the singular person being gay a problem?
Yeah. And no, even at the society rates now right now, is it wrong for people to be gay? I'd be willing to accept that even under that position with your view.
Sure. I mean,
that reduces your view to it's not immoral.
I mean, okay, it's wrong to be gay because the first STDs were created by gay men.
Can you give me evidence of that?
I have to look at I have to find the article, but
that's a wild claim. Go find it.
Yeah.
We'll give you time. Go find it.
Yeah, we'll sit here. We'll wait. We'll play patty cake.
No,
Yeah,
you guys
pause,
are fun.
go find it. No, seriously. No, go find it. Go find the article. You got 5 minutes before your timeout. You got No, go on pause. No, seriously. Don't stop wasting time. Go on pause.
No. We'll just keep going.
I insist. Nah, truly, I insist. No, we'll just be chilling here, playing patty cake. Go
you
find
guys
the
are
article.
hilarious, huh?
No, go find the article.
Go find the article. All right, next question. Come on.
Wait, you're not gonna go get it?
Bro, no, I'm not.
No.
Oh, okay. So it seems like you don't. Then why'd you make a claim like that in front of 5,000 people?
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man.
Like that's a wild claim to make in front of 5K people
then
just to
back
like
it
not
up.
even go
Okay,
search it
okay.
up.
Then disprove my point. Then come on.
Well, I mean, I don't have to. You gave no evidence.
Imagine this. You're standing on a podium in front of 5,000 people, and you're like, gay people like started STIs and STDs, and then you are asked for any evidence at all, any, and then you can't provide any. That's that's embarrassing.
There are magical unicorns.
Right.
Right.
Just go on Google.
Trust me, bro. Trust me.
Just go on Google.
Trust
Just go on Google. I'm pretty sure it's
Just trust me. Trust me.
You go.
Just trust
I'm
me,
just
bro.
saying, it's just a simple search.
We'll give you time to go simple search. Go for it.
We're being so unironic.
Take your own advice, bro. We'll wait for you. We'll play patty cake.
We're being so for real. Like, yeah, we're being so for real. We're being so for real, man. Go on pause and find.
No, you're good. You're good. No.
No.
That's too much time. That's too much time.
No.
I'm telling y'all, it's just, y'all have a computer,
man.
right?
No.
Oh, he just got guidelined. All right, everyone, we're going to go into the next person. Keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 4.1 million likes. We're getting up there, everyone. 5,000 people in the live right now. Tap that screen. We're getting there, everyone. Dean's shaking, chat. Dean's shaking. All right, share the live, everyone. Let's try to get to 3,000 shares as well. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone.
If you haven't hit the follow button yet, of that red button in the top left-hand corner of your screen is red. Hit that shit. Make it go white if you're enjoying the content. What's going on,
Yo, what's
man?
up? How old are you? Oh, you got that.
How old are you?
Wagwan, my babes. Lana Del Rey is the best. She is the most.
Oh.
Lana Del Rey. Lana W? Lana W?
Not the Lana stands, man.
I'll let you say it because I've been saying it the past 5 million times.
Oh, no worries. No worries. What's up, James? How old are you?
I'm 23.
Nice. Do you think being gay is like wrong or immoral or anything?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because of the concept of reproduction.
Yeah, is infertility immoral?
Is infertility immoral?
Yeah.
I don't think that infertility. Wait, describe or can you give me your definition of infertility?
Just not possessing the required means necessary to reproduce.
So is that a choice?
Hey, can you just tell me if it's immoral? We'll get there.
Is infertility immoral? No.
Uh-huh. Oh! What does the graph say? Here we see being gay leads to no reproduction in the same sense that infertility leads to no reproduction. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that it's immoral or wrong to be gay because they can't have kids, but not immoral or wrong to be infertile, regardless of the fact that they can't have kids, you have a logical contradiction.
I want a chance though, if you don't mind. But the reason why I even bring up reproduction is because it requires a hetero act.
Get graft. No, it doesn't.
Why doesn't it?
IVF and surrogacy don't require a hetero act.
Wait, what you said?
IVF and surrogacy don't require a hetero act.
What is IVF and surrogacy?
So in vitro fertilization is when they take an egg and a sperm, and then they go into a lab and they pick the sperm up with these little tweezers and the egg up with these little tweezers and break the sperm into the egg, and then it sits in a petri dish, and then they fertilize it into the womb of a woman.
So where does a sperm come from and where does an egg come from?
Yeah, a sperm would come from a man's testes, and then an egg would come from a woman's ovaries.
So you don't agree that that is a hetero act?
I mean, right, act would imply action in the reference of heterosexual intercourse. I'm guessing that's what you're referencing.
I said hetero. Just hetero itself. Do you agree that that's a hetero act?
Dude, I thought you were just talking about heterosexual intercourse. I was just dismissing that claim.
I wasn't talking about intercourse. I'm saying.
Okay, well, if we weren't talking about intercourse, then I'll agree with you. What's your point?
So it is a hetero act.
If you're just framing a hetero act as two pieces from a man and a woman, sure. I mean.
So with that being said, you can't reproduce.
I mean, it's not necessarily hetero. What if the sperm came from a homosexual man? Would that still be considered hetero? I mean, I don't know. It's a
male. It's a male and a female.
Okay, sweet.
So what I'm saying is it clearly stands against Hence. 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 Hence.
Fertile person. I mean, obviously, this isn't always going to hold to be true due to different co-founding variables, but I'll accept this to be a fact right now. But, that just allows for the contradiction. An infertile man never going to have a kid in the same sense that a gay man under your worldview would never have a kid. But you're going to say that infertility is not wrong and being gay is wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying now. Can I respond?
Yes.
So, with that being said, infertility is not a choice.
My favorite.
Now, let me finish. Someone may feel in their heart that they are gay, okay? But The fact of the matter is, you making the decision to act on it, that's a matter of self-control. You can't
Right. So
control if you're.
if me as a straight man
I
made a
wasn't.
decision,
I
sorry,
wasn't.
continue.
Yeah. So, with that being said, if you're infertile, you can't control whether you have a baby or not. But if you're homosexual, you can control whether you want to dive into that desire or whether you don't.
Right. What's morally relevant on like homosexualism is going to be like they can control if they engage in homosexual intercourse, but regardless of the decision that they make, they have to, by the way, to engage or to not engage. This is not going to produce, any children. So like the end result of like a null level production of children is what is morally relevant, and because that will not change, if a man does or doesn't engage in homosexual intercourse, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But if you want to frame this as a choice or a decision of some sorts, what if I chose to engage with intercourse with like an infertile girlfriend? Would that be immoral?
No. Because of the.
So I chose to engage in intercourse that yielded a zero potentiality for offspring, and you are deeming this as not immoral. So why is it immoral when a gay man chooses to engage in intercourse that will yield a zero potentiality for offspring? That's another contradiction.
Because there is more than one reason for sex. I believe in God. God created
Right.
sex.
Right. Right. There's more than one reason for sex, of course. Like pleasure, love.
Let me continue. So it's more than one reason for sex. With that being said, and God's moral way of having sex, it's meant to enjoy as well.
All right. And I don't think a gay man couldn't enjoy, therefore he would be engaging in the act of intercourse for a valid reason, therefore it wouldn't be immoral.
So I said, once again, I am a man of God, so a lot of my claims are going to be based in the Bible.
Your first claim wasn't at all. No, your first claim wasn't at all. You tried to make a claim about.
I said
No, James, please don't interrupt me. Your first claim.
You interrupted me. I wasn't finished.
Well, what I'm saying is that your first claim didn't have anything to do with God. It just had to do with reproduction, right? And I understand.
Can
We
I
get
finish?
emotional. We get emotional. It's okay.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. In 1 second, and you can finish in 1 second, and I apologize. Your first claim was just that about reproduction and the fact that gay people can't reproduce. And then I introduced the analogy to do with the infertile girlfriend, which is a decision to engage with that would result in a zero potentiality for produce offspring, and this would hold to be the same under homosexual intercourse. You say that one's right and one's wrong. This would show the contradiction, and you haven't really said much about this contradiction except for you believe in God. So, James, what does God say about this contradiction?
My name is Jamez, by the way. But as I was saying, I said most of my claims are going to be based in the Bible. You have to allow me to finish before you just cut me off. What was your question again?
Well, your response to the contradiction that I showed within your position was you're a believer in God. Unironically, that's what you said. And my question is, how does God say about this contradiction?
What does God say about what contradiction? That wasn't my response. I was just making a statement so y'all would know where I'm coming from. I wasn't responding to what you asked me by saying I'm a man of God. I was just throwing that out there just for more information during our conversation.
Tell me. Yeah, so cool. The contradiction that I pointed out was the fact that you said homosexuality is wrong because they can't have kids. And then the first thing I did was I brought up an analogy between homosexuality and infertility, and then you said that homosexuality is a choice in reference if a man does or doesn't engage in the act of homosexual intercourse. And then I said no matter what a man chooses on this act, there's still going to be no kids. So that doesn't make sense. But then even if we just compare the choice to engage in the intercourse with me choosing to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman, both of these situations would yield no reproduction. Yet you're going to say my choice to engage with intercourse with an infertile woman is okay, but a gay man's choice to engage in intercourse with another gay man is not going to be okay. But your reasoning for why it's not okay in the case of the gay man is the result of no reproduction. But then we still have the same conclusion in the case of me engaging in intercourse with an infertile woman, but you just choose to ignore it. And that's a contradiction that I'm trying to get you to address.
So with that being said, is the infertile woman your wife?
Sure.
Okay. So with that being said, if your marriage, if it's based in God, it's not wrong. Now, if it was an infertile woman that you're not married to, that would be wrong as well. Simply
Right.
because
But its reason as to why
outside
it's wrong would have nothing to do with reproduction.
Yeah, simply because it's outside of God's moral way of how He designed sex, and that's just my take from my
But
standpoint.
now you're just shifting. You're just shifting the whole conversation. You've been arguing reproduction, then that point got blown fucking out of the water. So now you're shifting the argument to like what God says about marriage, right? So if two men are married, is that okay for them to engage in intercourse?
Reproduction didn't get blown out of the water. I want to say I didn't
totally
hear
did.
a response where you refuted that and completely destroyed it.
Yeah, because you said if I engage in intercourse with an infertile woman, and which would yield no reproduction, you said that's moral, and this completely blows it out of the water and completely
But
destroys it.
I never said that reproduction was the only reason for sex.
Okay,
It was
well then,
one
like,
of the reasons.
concede on the point of reproduction, because obviously reproduction doesn't matter to you, because it would be moral for me to engage in intercourse with a woman who can't reproduce.
I didn't say that reproduction doesn't matter. Clearly, it matters.
Yeah, you did.
for the
No, of
human-
course you did.
I didn't. That
No,
never-
you said it doesn't matter if I engage in intercourse. Thank you so much for the glowing jellyfish, Mike. I appreciate that, man. You said it doesn't matter if I engage in intercourse with an infertile woman. Like, you clearly said that that is
say
not morally
it doesn't
relevant.
matter.
Yeah, no, you clearly said that that's
never
morally okay.
came- That never. I don't understand why you're trying to put words.
Yeah, don't gaslight. You said that that would be morally
no,
okay.
you're gaslighting, bro.
No, not at all. You said that'd be
Gaslighting.
morally
You're
fine for
trying
me to do.
Host, what is he doing right now? Honestly.
Yeah, so I mean, I would you like me to? I can just run this real quick. So when it relates to there being like an infertile woman engaging in intercourse with a man in this scenario, right? You didn't care about the fact that it didn't lead to reproduction. So the point that Dean's highlighting is that, again, right? If you cared about the fact that there was reproduction, then in that scenario you would have applied it, right? But you didn't apply it on the sole basis of the fact that there's a man and a woman in the context of marriage, which is prescribed to be right by your Bible. So the whole point and the whole focal point of your entire view here, right, is going to be based upon the Bible here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not based on reproduction. That's kind of the point that Dean was highlighting. So if it's not based upon reproduction, instead it's based upon the Bible, what would be the justification for why the Bible is reliable in describing to us what's right and what's wrong about morality?
What would be the justification of why it's right or wrong, basically?
Of why it's reliable in describing to us what's right and wrong. I appreciate the confetti. Thank you so much. Like why it's accurate.
When you reflect the laws in general in any judicial system in America, the judicial system in America, the laws that are in America that America was founded upon, you'll see them reflected in the Word of God. So, with that being said, just the basic 10 Commandments. The basic 10 Commandments. Do you have something to say?
I don't see how this relates to anything. Like again, I can say that like they have similar values, even if that is true, right? And that doesn't mean anything.
You asked me. Wait, can you read? Can you say your question?
Can you explain to me why that means anything?
Can you ask me?
I'm asking you, why is the Bible reliable in describing to us what's right and wrong about morality? Like how do you know your God exists?
How do I know that He exists? Well, proof in God existing is personal to everybody. So I can't just, God is not a light switch. I can't just flick Him on and off. You know what I'm saying?
So then what's your personal proof?
What's my personal proof? Is that I experience God every day. I've experienced Jesus Christ. I've experienced warfare. It's a lot of things that I can't just show you. I can't put the spirit in front of your face. It's beyond the physical. So
there's two things here, James. One is that the contents of your experience, they're not accessible to me. They're not accessible to Dean. They're not accessible to anyone here in the party. I mean, in the call.
they are accessible, but that's a matter of your own heart.
No, it's not accessible because we don't have your experience.
No, what I'm saying is the same sort of experiences that I had. I'm not any better.
No, you making that claim isn't the same as us being able to see that experience. There are many claims that are made, right? If it's just going to be us judging it on the basis of it being a claim, right? What's to say that the inferences formed, the conclusions formed from your spiritual experience are any different than that of the spiritual experiences from, say, Prophet Muhammad, right? You dispute the Prophet Muhammad has real, like, accurate conclusions when it relates to their experience with the angel Gabriel in terms of dictating the Quran, because there are contradictions between Christianity being true and the Quran being true simultaneously. That can't be the case, because the Quran says Jesus did not crucify on the cross.
But the Quran also said, go to the Bible when you're in need. See,
okay, I don't care what the Quran says, right? Again, the point is clear, is that there's contradictions. You can't hold them true simultaneously. So if it is the case that the conclusions formed from this spiritual experience are invalid because they're false, right? Then why can you form conclusions from your spiritual experience and they cannot? What's the principal distinction between these two circumstances?
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that they can't form spiritual experiences. I'm not saying that that didn't happen, but it's just a matter of whether it was right or whether it was wrong.
Yeah, like what the conclusions they formed from it. So again, I asked you that specifically. I didn't ask you, did this experience happen? I asked you about the conclusions they formed from that experience.
The conclusions they formed, like just Muhammad himself, or just like...
Yeah, like you don't accept the conclusions Muhammad formed from the context of his experiences in terms of dictating the Quran, right? But you do accept your conclusions. I'm asking you, if we're judging based upon the words that you're giving us, right? There is no distinction to me in terms of the conclusions formed by their experience and your experience that would indicate that I would accept yours and not accept theirs. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, like, with that being said, like I said, I can't just prove to you that God exists. I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's personal. I would actually because I know this isn't gonna get anywhere. I would actually like to go to something else if y'all are okay with that. Because I understand that, with that being said, I can't prove God to you. I can't.
Yeah, so if you can't justify God's existence, this is a really, really big issue, because then you have a faith plea. And if you have a faith plea, well, that's no different from me holding to a different religion that says that being gay is good, right? Or like me saying that Stewie Griffin created the universe through a temporal loop, right? And I have faith in that.
So
that's just as justified as your worldview there. I'm not using that as a joke. I'm being legitimately serious. There's no process for disconfirming a claim, right, when it relates to the standard of faith. It's simply just whether or not you accept the belief.
So with the Bible itself, there are a lot of different discoveries as well as events that testify to the Bible being true. That is, I mean, like I said, I can't prove that I experienced God, but just like they found the wall of Shiloh, that article just came out. I don't have my laptop with me. I'm sorry about that. But they just found the wall of Shiloh. They found and this is a good one I just discovered. They found clams. They found giant clams in mountains. Clams aren't known.
Yeah, so like, do you know plate tectonics?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when they move towards each other, they go up like that.
But with that being said, where they found,
you know what that does? It takes land that used to be underneath the ocean, and now it's above water.
So what proof do we have that this land was underwater?
Plate tectonics moving around.
So every mountain. Wait. Because now
you're talking about Mount Everest and stuff like that. We know that like prior the continents around there shifted.
We also have fish fossils.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's pointing towards. He's saying we have these clam fossils, right? How did these get here?
Oh,
you're trying to make a claim that there's like the flood or something?
Yeah.
Because if you're making a claim that there's a flood, well, then that actually gives us other expectations. Like I can ask you this question, right? Did God flooding the entire earth take away the free will of the earth?
Did it take away the free will? No.
No? Okay, so every single time that, someone's going to do something bad or say like Hitler, right? He was going to like literally unalive mass amounts of people, millions of people, tens of millions of people. God can just drown him, and that's not taking away his free will. So God could have stopped and prevented the Holocaust, right? In that scenario without taking away free will. So if God can stop this event from happening without taking away free will, well, why didn't he? Are you saying that God prefers this to happen?
So Jesus built a sort of bridge. Okay. Now I know that y'all don't believe, well, I'm assuming that y'all don't believe, but there was a sort of sympathy that was given to us when Jesus came and gave his life on the cross. There was a certain sympathy that was in place, as well as what was going on in the days of Noah. A lot of people don't understand that the people outside of Noah were an abomination. What I mean by abomination is that angels came down and they were having sexual intercourse with men and women. At this point in time, everyone would.
No, I understand the context of Noah's Ark. Trust me, we've all heard this a million times. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. Like, I asked you a very specific question, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this scenario, right, is it permitted for God to do this?
Is it permitted for God to?
Yeah, like can he just unalive Hitler, right, before he just kills a bunch of people who are Jewish?
Yeah, he definitely could.
He can, right? And that doesn't take away free will.
That doesn't take away free will, as in.
Okay, so if it doesn't take away free will, then why didn't God do it?
Why didn't he do it?
Yeah, that's the expectation we would have. Because God doesn't like Holocaust, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so God would not want that to happen if God could. The only reason it did happen is because of free will. But if this doesn't take away free will, what's the reason why God didn't do it?
Because Hitler was
You would do it, right? Would you do it?
Hitler was a man. I'm trying to explain to y'all that the people, so-called people that were taken out in the flood, it's a reason. Noah was a drunkard. He was described as, what is the word? I don't want to, it's a specific word. It's not righteous, but it's something to do with righteous. And when you actually study the meaning of what God was saying, it's not that he was a perfect person. It's not. It's that his bloodline wasn't tampered with by angels.
Yeah, I understand that, right? I don't know what your point is.
You don't know it. So what my point is,
I don't see how that responds to my question of whether or not God can drown Hitler.
So this is why I'm saying Hitler was a regular man. God drowned abominations. That's the difference.
Wait. Why were they considered abomination? Wait, no. Actually, by the way, it was not. There were humans alive at that time.
But as I said,
and babies.
There was one human bloodline that wasn't tampered with. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. There was Nephilim blood in all of the people. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it, Lex. Thank you so much. So you're saying that the only justification for the not taking away free will is because they have Nephilim DNA.
Wait.
That's the only reason it doesn't take away free will?
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Are you saying the only reason it doesn't take away free will is because they had Nephilim DNA?
I'm saying that is the reason why God drowned them and why he didn't.
No, I'm not asking for the reason why God did that. I'm asking for the principal distinction in this scenario that would be relevant to whether or not it take away free will. Because the only reason as to why God would not do it in this scenario is if it took away free will.
God created man with free will. God did not create Nephilim. So what I'm saying is,
but they were mostly humans still.
They had Nephilim blood. That's still.
Yeah, but they still had free will.
No, they are not.
No? Wait, those humans alive then did not have free will.
I'm trying to explain to you that they weren't human. Human means
they were human. They were human hybrids, right?
Yeah, that's a hybrid.
But they were mostly human.
They were not created. This is what I'm saying. They were not created by God.
Yes, they were. That doesn't make any sense.
They were not created by God. That's what I'm saying.
That makes no sense.
Why does it not?
So there's something that exists without the existence of God. That's incoherent under your worldview.
No, I'm not.
Because you think everything is existing because of God.
That's not what I said. What I said is that they came from an how do you say that word? An abominable act. They came from an abominable act not even against. They weren't meant to be created, basically.
So God isn't all powerful and all knowing?
God is all powerful, but he also gives us free will. So God is all powerful. He limited his power by giving us free will when he created us, because God can do anything he pleases. But for the sake of love, for the sake of him being a loving God, he limited his power when it came to creating us.
All right. Yo, you guys were just talking about the whole stories of like.
Yeah, I don't see how free will gets removed in that scenario, but I'm gonna let Dean move it on.
Just like the whole thing about Noah's Ark earlier. I just find it like really interesting that there's still people that would believe in such a story today, just based off upon like what we know about the Earth and how it works, right? So like one refutement to the whole notion of like the mass flood that encapsulated all the Earth would just be the fact that, like we understand geology and specifically sedimentary rock layering, and like we can understand by observing the geology of rock layering all across the Earth that there is not like one point in time where like a mass flood would have occurred, and this is going to be
Heart rate 130
shown
beats
by
per
like
minute.
just variance in the rock layering all across Earth. But like the main objection, the huge objection to this whole idea of the flood is that there just simply does not exist enough water on Earth to account for the flood. So like when we're looking at all the water on Earth, about 97.5% of it is in the oceans, and then 2.5% of it is fresh water. Like
Wait, I think they claim underground water. So there's actually water underneath the ground that,
yeah.
I mean, some claim could account for stuff like that. The best claims against it are based upon the geological proofs, because there's evidence for local floods within the Middle East and within Africa, right? But not globally speaking within the context of sedimentary rock and other stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the groundwater
platform saying in the comment section is incoherent. Water from above.
Yeah, well, no, like the groundwater is actually accounted for in the 2.5% of the water that is like fresh water, right? And we know this because it is impossible for there to exist this mass amount of water within the ground, or like we would not be able to build foundations for buildings. We would not be able to operate in like under the Industrial Revolution, just like out of like the pure like context that we wouldn't be able to build shit. The water beneath our feet wouldn't be level. It wouldn't be good to build on, and like just from our understanding of like how like geotechnical engineering works, this whole idea that there's this mass amount of water underground is just absurd, right? And I mean if that's not such a strong point, like I mean there's like tons of refutements for the whole idea of Noah's Ark, or sorry, of the flood, also to do with like biodiversity and animal migration.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
I don't mean to cut you off, but just so I don't lose it, can I
Wait, but before you do, I just want to say that like there is like a not in our system that's operating, but I'm pretty sure like on the Earth there is, like in the context of like the entire Earth, right? But in actual process and movement that would actually occur, no. So I think that's where the difference in those claims comes from. But James, you can say what you're saying.
Okay, so with that being said, because we are speaking about the God of the Bible, correct? So God in the Bible has never been limited by his creation. He's never been limited by an amount of anything. He's never been limited by the laws of physics.
Logic.
Huh?
Logic.
He's limited by the laws of logic. Would you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Okay, so
that's just incoherent. You're going to say that God can make himself exist and not exist simultaneously?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Can God make himself exist and not exist simultaneously?
Can God make himself exist and not exist simultaneously?
Yes or no?
I don't know, honestly.
Well, if you don't believe in logic, then the answer is yes. It would also be the case that God can make himself not exist and then bring himself back into existence.
So what I said was God is not limited to his creation.
No, you said that God wasn't limited to the laws of logic.
No, I said my statement was
Homie,
the God of the Bible was never limited to his creation. I said that.
Homie, run the tapes
That's how
back.
I started.
You started with that, and then you ended by.
That I said that.
No, you started with that, but then you ended by saying that he's not limited to the laws of logic.
That's what I'm saying. He's not limited to his creation.
Bro,
isn't like he is limited by logic, right?
Logic stems from God's creation.
No, does logic... Okay, if God exists alone prior to creation, is there still logic?
If God... I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Did God create logic?
Did God create logic?
Yeah.
So, Can you define logic? I'll answer your question, I promise.
Yeah, it's
But,
going to just generally refer to the three classical laws of logic: the law of identity, law of non-contradiction, law of excluded middle. Law of identity being like A equals A, right? Things are themselves.
so did he create logic? Yes.
Did he create? You think he created logic?
Yes.
Okay, so prior to him creating logic, right? Could he make himself exist and not exist simultaneously? Or could he create a squared circle? I'll just ask you that.
I can't put God in a box. So I'm pretty sure it might baffle our minds, but I'm pretty sure God can do anything that you're questioning.
Can God create a rock that is so heavy that God cannot pick it up?
I've heard these questions 1,000 times, bro. Like
This
I
is
said,
a contradiction, and this is exactly what holds you to the stance
No,
that God cannot do things that are logically impossible.
it's only a contradiction to man. Why? Because we're limited to logic. God is outside of logic. In order for you to create something, you have to be outside of it. Do you agree with that?
But it doesn't have to be outside of logic, right? Again, you would just dispute the notion that God created logic, because if you say that God created logic, you run into fundamental issues of like who God even is, right? Of how you even describe anything in reality, right? Because if A doesn't equal A, well, then you can't map anything onto anything to actually be able to have any sort of concept to go off of.
Yeah, but
right? There's literally nothing I can reference, right? If you don't know if this chapstick is this chapstick, right, then there's nothing I can base off of when you describe to me that there's a chapstick. Because again, we don't even know. It could be itself and not itself. I don't know what that means at all.
Yeah.
Right? No one knows what that means.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, as I was trying to explain, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're listening. You know, you're being diligent. So I don't know if you like understand exactly what I'm trying to say, but
it's just incoherent.
God is.
I'm sorry, it really is. Like you saying that God can do logical contradictions is incoherent, because then you'd end with a statement that God can create a rock that's so heavy that God cannot pick it up, which would say that it's not all powerful.
God, I'm trying to explain to you that the things that we are limited to, the thoughts of our mind, we are limited. God can do something that we don't understand. Jesus defied the laws of physics and gravity more than once. He defied the laws of physics and gravity more than once as he walked on earth. He did that more than once.
Yeah. So laws of gravity would be different than laws of logic, right? We can still suppose of coherent concepts without the laws of gravity.
Yeah, like we could actually like create a metaphysically possible situation in which someone could violate like the laws of physics or gravity while remaining logically consistent.
How does somebody defy the laws of gravity?
It's metaphysically possible because it does not violate the law of non-contradiction, the excluded middle, or the law of identity.
Can you give me an example of this? Like, can you give me a study or something that can prove that people can defy the laws of gravity on Earth?
I don't think that you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that like my assertion is that it's metaphysically possible because it does not violate the laws of logic. Therefore, when you like bring up this idea of Jesus violating the laws of gravity, this would not be in violation of the laws of logic. It's kind of like all is encapsulated by the laws of logic, because when you fall out of the laws of logic, we don't understand what the fuck we're talking about anymore. Right. So, you know, like Parker proposed a good question. Can God exist and not exist at the same time?
Can God exist and not exist at the same time? To man, yes. Yes. To man.
That's just okay. First of all, it's incoherent. Again, we already went over this. I think we're just going to hit like a point where of circularity, because this point is pretty clear, right? You have no ability to actually grasp on any concept. There's no conversation to be had with an individual that thinks that like you can violate the laws of logic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and I know it's not something that people just understand, but God is not limited to anything unless he chooses to be. God can literally do whatever he wants. Just because it's outside of our understanding, God is not limited to what me and you understand. He's not limited to that. He's just not. He's not limited to the laws that we're subject to. If he was, he wouldn't be God. He wouldn't. At least he wouldn't be the God of the Bible. The God.
You could say physical laws, but the laws of logic, yeah, I wouldn't make that claim. That's just an incoherent stance. Yeah, you're just gonna result in big issues there. But is there anything else you want to go over or talk about, man?
Are there any questions that you guys have for me?
No specifically.
Well, I mean, I enjoy having this conversation. Dean, I don't know if you had any more comments, but I enjoy this conversation. And,
I mean, I felt like we spent about 90% of the time talking about God and about 10% of the time talking about the morality of, being gay. And but in the time that we did spend about talking about the morality of homosexuality, that wasn't even I don't know. It wasn't that productive, but I appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the opportunity. I enjoyed speaking with you guys and, just being able to hear your standpoints and, your ways of thinking. I love you guys. I thank you guys for allowing me to join up. I thank you for allowing me to join up on your platform. I know it's not a belief thing, but God bless you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a blessed night, man.
No, I appreciate the respect, man. Thank you so much, man.
Most definitely.
Peace out, man.
All
right, let's go into the next person. Again, if you like the content, everyone, follow me if you haven't already. Tap that screen, everyone. We're going to get to 4.1 million. We're going to fucking do it, chat. Dean's quaking in his boots right now. Tap that fucking screen. Let's go, chat. 5,000 people in here. Tap that screen. Let's go, chat. Let's fucking go. We're running it up, everyone. Literally, we're running it up. Look at Dean quaking right now.
Oh,
Look at
man.
Dean. Look at Dean. All right, let's go to the next person. Have you talked to Platform before?
Yeah, please pull Platform up here right now.
You want to talk to Platform?
Yes, I do. I want to talk to Platform right fucking now.
Hey,
hello, Platform.
It's been a while. I really want to debate you guys on pro-life, pro-choice.
It seems like you finally want to actually.
I'll debate you on that platform anytime.
Oh, beautifully. Let's set up a date to debate that. But we can talk about why being gay is wrong. First off, I would like to say if it wasn't wrong, why would you even be having this conversation right now?
Oh my God, right?
Oh
That's
my
like someone saying, when I say, prove to me God exists, why would you be having this conversation if you don't think God exists? That just doesn't make any sense.
No, just
because we're arguing against people that hold this position because of the negative impacts that can have on society in terms of how people are discriminated against, how people are hated, right? In terms of the critical thinking of society. These things are very, very important to then be able to demonstrate whether or not a society is going to be able to progress.
Sure, but if it was implied it wasn't wrong, then we wouldn't really need to have a conversation about it. But we can continue.
Well, in society, sure, yeah, it is implied in society that it is wrong, and that's exactly what we're arguing against.
Yep. So Platform, why is it wrong to be gay? Also, you can't dodge. I just want to put it out there that this man has been dodging a debate with me for like 6
I've never dodged you. I've never dodged you.
Oh, we don't need to get into that here.
You have too many people in your requests. I'm not going to sit up in your requests.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think it's wrong to be gay?
Yeah.
Wait, you just did that today, Platform?
No, I just sat in there for like 30 minutes. Because
Okay.
Why is it wrong to be gay?
30 people in your request.
I won't embarrass you. I won't embarrass you. Just slow down. Tell me why it's wrong to be gay.
I have 42 right now.
And you embarrass yourself. You were picking your boogers like 2 minutes ago. So
I was not picking a booger. I have a fucking zit on the side of my nose.
All right.
So like now you're just gonna be a little emotional man. Come up here, tell me I'm picking my boogers. Come on, bro.
All right. So
come on, Platform. Why is it wrong to be gay?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to obviously ground in the stance of God, and obviously the whole thing is going to go back to like my religion and Christianity.
I have some questions for you.
For sure, but let me give you the proof of God. That you guys
no. I have a couple questions. I have a couple questions. So can you A, prove to me that your God exists? P, prove to me that your God is the correct God? C, you have to prove that your God is a divine legislature. 4, you have to prove that your religious text is derived from your God. 5, you have to prove that it's been translated perfectly. 6, you have to prove a stance on a biblical inerrancy and inspiration. And 7, you have to prove that you're interpreting the texts correctly.
This is so funny. I didn't hear you say this to not one other Christian up here, but we can do this. So first off, I'm going to talk to you about my God isn't. So when I'm worshiping my God, I believe we all worship under the same God, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're
not true
Buddhist. None of this is my belief, Dean. So I don't.
Well, there's contradictions would arise.
So when we talk about the proof of God, yeah, absolutely. So have you guys heard of anything called the miracle of the sun, or do you just ignore like the Catholicism miracles when it comes to like the proof of God?
Haven't heard it. Go for it.
Have you heard of it, Parker? I didn't.
Did he just hear me?
Are you literate?
No, I didn't. Whoa. So
I mean, that would be reading. That would be reading. Platform. So did you just hear what I said?
No, I didn't hear
I said I haven't heard it. Go for it.
Okay, for sure. So the miracle of the sun, which happened in Spain, I think it was 1917. There was, and you guys can say that this is refuted by science, sure, but this is something that we hold true within our faith, and we hold to. This was a miracle basically that was prophesied by 3 young children. Exact date, exact time, exact location. 70,000 people gathered: atheists, scientists, Muslims, Christians. They all gathered into this place, and the miracle happened. You saw 70,000 people converted at once. You saw this mass that science calls a mass hallucination that we've never seen within our society before. So that would be my first evidence of God, the miracle of the sun. And then I'm going to bring up the Lady of Fatima in Mexico, and we had 10,000 converts to Catholicism. That you can do your research, and I don't know too much like into detail about that one. And then I'm just going to bring up like the proof of God like lays within our churches, just the stand-up churches over time. Just being able to withstand like all the different natural disasters. They're all ran in the same way, especially in the Roman Catholic faith. You go to Italy, you go to Greece, you go anywhere around the world, you're going to see the churches being ran the exact same way. Mass procession is exactly the same. The Eucharist is the center of Mass. So this would just prove that God does exist around the whole entire world, and it actually absolutely is true that God is living and around. So that would be my next thing. And then my next thing would be the incorrupt bodies of the saints. Have you heard of anything about these before?
So do you want me to like address these points?
Yeah, when I'm done, but I know you can refute all of these by science, absolutely. But this is fact.
Oh, okay, well then there you go.
Wait, yeah, so this is fact.
If you can refute all of them by science, you just disputed your own point.
No. So Parker, this is where you don't understand. Like science came after religion. There was science came after God. So everything that you like hold to with your hypothesis and theories all came because there was something greater than you and I.
That's an assumption of your own belief, right? Do you hold to science?
No, I just gave.
Or do you think science is like a faulty process?
He thinks this is a faulty process.
Yeah, absolutely. Science is always going to be a faulty process. We'll always evolve.
Yeah, dude. No, dude. This guy.
Yeah.
This guy, like,
you guys are funny. Like,
all vaccines.
Dude, wait, no. Let me ask you a question, right? Yo, do you think the polio vaccine is effective?
No, I can send you a book on it.
Do you think that Tylenol is effective?
No, Tylenol causes.
Would you go to the hospital if
Parker, Tylenol?
No. I'm asking you a question. Would you go to the hospital if you got into a car accident?
Yes, so I think.
Wait, why?
I think surgery is effective. I think that you need certain pharmaceuticals; those are effective. But when it comes to
wait, how do you know those are effective?
Parker, let me speak. So Tylenol causes the most acute liver failures across any medication out on the market. So don't talk to me about Tylenol.
No, how do you know that it's most effective?
Let me give your whole chat a book really quick on vaccines that you guys.
No. Answer my question. How do you know it's effective?
What's effective?
How do you know these different types of drugs, pharmaceuticals, are effective?
Yeah, no,
science.
Parker, we can understand hypothesis, and we can look at living organisms, and we can understand that like you can obviously do these tests and understand that some of science is real. It's not false. I'm not saying that, but science does evolve.
What did you just say? No, platform. Don't run back on that. You literally just said.
Parker.
What are you talking about, bro? What do you think science is? 1. 2, again, when it relates to this, you literally just say, I accept some parts of science, but I dispute the other ones that I don't like. So essentially what you're saying is that I cherry pick science for things that I agree with and for things that I do. No, let me finish. You say, let me finish. I'm going to finish.
So yeah, no.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm claiming what you just said.
Go ahead.
Do you really want to go over it? Like you can. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, no, what I'm telling you is I refute the part of science that says there's no supernatural world. When we look at Nikola Tesla and his studies and everything that he did, the one thing he did say is that That's
not a claim of science, actually.
No, I'm just giving you an example.
That's a science claim, a claim science cannot make.
You're going to cut me off, Parker, huh?
No, you're fucking lying.
No. This is a direct quote from Nikola Tesla.
You literally just lied. No.
No, I don't.
Science empirically based.
Parker. So what did they say when they were discovering energy and magnetic fields?
I don't know what you're talking about with it.
No, before they discovered all this energy and magnetic fields, what was there before? Could you just say that this wasn't a thing because they didn't understand it, because they couldn't see it, because this is something that's not observable?
I'm saying that's something they can't claim. right? Because they don't have evidence. That would be an unfalsifiable assertion. There being the supernatural platform. Let me describe this to you. There being a supernatural is an unfalsifiable claim, empirically speaking. Okay, so obviously science can't make a claim on whether or not the supernatural exists.
No, but we had very high level scientists and people who discovered lots of things.
Well, then they're wrong. Those people are wrong.
Right.
They cannot use science, an empirical method that's based upon natural phenomena, to be able to say that the supernatural does not exist. Okay,
sure.
You can say that different types of Christian denominations don't exist. About quantum physics? But the whole existence. Let me finish.
What about quantum physics?
I'm like trying to help you out, and you're literally not letting me finish. You literally platform. You literally cry whenever Dean cuts you off, and then as soon as I talk, all right, you literally cry. You literally sat there and you were getting emotional because Dean was cutting you off. Right? But whenever I speak, you cut me off because you know your fucking points suck against mine. That's why.
Scared to debate me.
You're actually the one cutting me off and scared to debate me right now. I'm being patient. I'm being respectful to you. Wait, platform. I'm being respectful to you. I'm being patient. And what you're doing is you're cutting me off and not letting me finish my points because you know my points dispute yours.
Go ahead.
You're scared.
Go ahead.
You're fucking scared.
No, Parker, I think you're scared. Go ahead.
I'm not scared. I'm literally giving you a platform in front of 6,000 people to talk.
I don't need your platform.
You think I'm scared?
Parker, I don't need your platform.
Okay, then what mic do you have?
Yeah, I have my own platform. I can talk about.
Okay, then go to it. Go to it.
Stop being so emotional.
Go to it.
Hey,
wait, no. Platform, please go live. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can
go host a live. I'm dead serious.
No, I want to talk to you two because you guys go up here and.
Well, I wonder why. Now, platform needs a fucking platform. I'm going to give you the mic, but let me give you the mic once I'm done. Okay.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so again, when it relates to this, science doesn't make a claim about the supernatural because that's not empirically based.
Okay, so was it empirically based when they didn't understand energy or quantum physics?
If they don't understand it, you can't make a claim whether or not it's not true.
They're making a claim now on quantum physics, Parker, but they don't understand it.
Yeah,
they claim to not understand. Wait, no, they claim to not understand.
But Dean,
their claim is that they don't understand it. Are you kidding me? No, we understand the interactions of quantum mechanics and quantum. No, listen to me, dude. Listen to me. So we understand very limited interactions of quantum mechanics and quantum physics due to experiments that can be done on the quantum field, right?
Hey, look at your chat.
But then we also make the claim to not understand it, right?
Sure. So basically, you just hypocrite. So basically, what you're saying, Dean, is
no. There's nothing hypocritical about the claims made about quantum mechanics and quantum physics.
So you're saying
we claim to understand some interactions on the quantum field.
Interesting.
That is the claim. That is the only claim that is made.
All right, we can move past the quantum physics.
Yeah. You want to move past that now, of course.
No. Look at the chat. You guys don't understand how to debate. So when it comes to these
platform, you literally didn't acknowledge any of my points. I didn't acknowledge my points.
What is your points, Parker? Your points was the.
What do you fucking mean?
Science
never made a claim about the supernatural because it can't possibly do that because it's not empirically measurable.
So I asked you about quantum physics. I'm asking you, how can they make a claim about?
I don't even know how that's related to my fucking question.
Because they don't understand.
No. Platform. I'm actually serious. You're literally trying to not to acknowledge it right now.
No, this is what you do, Parker. You get somebody who actually knows how to debate and you don't know how to debate, that you start to lose your stance. Yeah. This is what
I'm completely fine right now. I'm asking
bro, instead of gaslighting Parker, let
me do this real quick.
Your question.
Let me get him.
Let me answer your question. So why are they making a claim on quantum physics if they don't understand quantum physics? They're telling us how it's working. They're telling us how these atoms are being moved and how all of these things are happening within a certain field, but we don't even understand it. So they're making an empirical claim on something they don't even understand. Science does this all the time, Parker.
Oh, you're talking about hypotheses. So what they're doing is they have hypotheses, and then we can see whether or not this hypothesis is justified based upon the evidence that exists. So the evidence that would correspond with the hypotheses, right? But the hypothesis in of itself isn't necessarily justified unless you have evidence to back it up.
So
right?
Parker,
that would be the point that would be relevant there.
Yeah. So Parker, you needed to concede that this happens all the time, correct?
What do you mean that we use like hypotheses and then we test the hypotheses?
Yeah. So exactly.
Yeah. Like wait, that's not justifying your point.
Yeah. It is.
Wait, that's not making a claim or in saying it's justified without justification because a hypothesis is just in of itself. Can I finish, please, platform? So a hypothesis in of itself is not proven yet. Once it's proven, it would become a scientific theory. I appreciate the hint, I appreciate. Thank you so much. So they're not claiming justification while not having justification. So you're not actually giving a critique here to science at all.
Is theory evidence?
What's up? Thank you for the call.
Is theory evidence?
Yeah, scientific theory requires evidence because it would be proven.
Is it evidence?
What do you mean, is it evidence?
Yeah, so is it true? Does it hold?
It has evidence within it. It would be true, yes.
No. So you're saying every theory is true based off of science?
I'm saying scientific theories are considered true based on like the evidence that exists.
Great. So what about all of these theories that they had a long time ago and that they claim to be true because it was
disproven by what? Further science.
Right. This is my point, Parker. So science is always evolving. So you hold strong to it. You worship science, and I get that. But what you need...
I'm not worshiping science. That's bullshit.
Okay. So this is what you need.
It's the best explanation of the data, right? That's what we're saying.
Sure.
Okay, you can sit there and you can try to like cherry pick science for the parts that you like and parts that support your view and not accept it in others, right? But the fundamental point that I'm getting to is that you literally earlier in this conversation were making claims that you rejected science, that you didn't accept it.
No, I don't.
Right? And then I asked you a question right after that, and I showed you how the process that you use. Appreciate the hand. Thank you so much.
I don't accept all.
I showed you that the process that you use is literally based upon science to be able to confirm whether or not pharmaceutical drugs are actually effective in the first place. That you literally use in your own life.
Parker.
Okay, so what I've literally shown you is that you've engaged in I'm not steamrolling. I'm finishing my point.
What you're trying to put words into my mouth that I didn't say. I didn't say I refute all science.
Hey, platform. I literally give you the place to speak, right? And every single time I speak, you cut me off.
No, I think you and Dean have cut me off multiple times already. So I'm not complaining.
It wasn't me.
No big deal.
Was it me? Actually, no. It was likely Dean. It was not me.
It was no big deal. So let me finish. So this is my point. And
okay, that's hypocritical.
Yeah, so we can get back to why being gay is immoral. So I gave you the stances of why my religion. No. I gave you.
No, it doesn't acknowledge and deflects back. Can you acknowledge the point that I just made?
Acknowledge the miracle of the sun.
I was gonna get to that, but you literally won't acknowledge this point. I will get to that. I have a response to that.
I've acknowledged.
Can you please respond to what I just said?
Parker, I've acknowledged everything you said.
You did not acknowledge what I just said.
No, I did.
You literally just deflected away from it, bro.
I walked you through a process on how you can refute science and still understand science and still believe in science.
You did not give us a process to refute science and to understand science. Not at all.
You said theories are proven. You said they're
yes, that's by definition. The definition of a scientific theory would be that it's proven, right? It's part of the definition.
Great. So I'm asking you, what about the theories that they had a long time ago that were disproven now? It refuted science, correct?
Yeah, because it was proven at that particular time period based upon the evidence that existed.
Right.
So when they're making a claim about science, they're not saying this is 100% true. They're saying that this is most likely to be true given the evidence that exists. Right. So what actually effectively went against that process? More science. Yeah, so it's not disputing the idea of science. It's adding to the idea of science. No, it's growing the idea of science.
It's evolving. Absolutely. But it's refuting the old idea, Parker.
Okay. And again, I'm not disputing the idea that the point right now cannot be refuted. Right. But it's going to be refuted by future science. So you cannot dispute science or reject science as a manner to say that science is not applicable. That doesn't make any sense. Right. Because again, you would require science to be able to do that. It's going to be self-refuting.
Parker, you don't understand. You're not understanding. I've explained it to you I don't know how many different ways.
What am I not understanding?
You can refute certain parts of science and still understand that science.
What parts did you refute?
I refute the fuck out of the COVID vaccine. That's the first thing I refute.
Okay, so what about that process of science? Because again, science is a process. What part of the process do you dispute insofar as the evidence in this particular scenario was not effective?
Parker, you might not want me to bring this up, but I can talk about all of the things that are refuted.
Why wouldn't I want you to bring it up?
Because I know you're paid by these little.
I'm not paid by anyone. I don't take money from any companies. The only money that I make is from people who send me money on this app. That is actually it. That is literally it. I don't take any money from any company, haven't taken any from any advertisement, any business, not from the DNC, not from any institution.
Okay.
Right? Not a single one, I promise you.
Chill out, Parker.
No, you just like you actually believe that. That's the sad part.
Wait,
right? It's because anyone who's in a position.
You're just trying to run from the conversation.
I'm not deflecting.
I said one thing.
Sonia, thank you so much.
So
you say one thing and I address it and you're saying I'm deflecting. That's called gaslighting.
You're not addressing.
That's called gaslighting. I am addressing it directly.
Parker, check your
You're gaslighting me.
You're gaslighting, not me. I'm sitting here
How am I gaslighting? I just described how you're gaslighting.
Parker,
can you describe to me how it's gaslighting?
Parker, I'm listening. I'm responding to you. I'm giving you.
Can you describe to me how it's gaslighting, please?
You're claiming it's gaslighting.
Yeah, you claim that I was gaslighting. I just described to you how it was gaslighting. Can you describe to me how it's gaslighting?
Parker, this is embarrassing. I've never seen you do this with anybody on your platform before.
I do this with every conversation that I have. This is again gaslighting. right? You're trying to say that I don't do this as a manner to like dispute
Parker,
what I'm
you're
saying.
running
Appreciate
from
the handout. Thank you so much, because you're using that to lie and manipulate the audience.
It's weird.
Okay.
Interesting. Parker, it's weird that you're running from this whole discussion with like just.
I'm not running from any discussion. I'm literally constantly going over it.
No, you're running from this discussion. So let's continue what we were talking about with hypothesis and refuting science. So yeah, you can refute science with still agreeing with certain things and aspects that understand that you can test certain probabilities and certain things within science and understand these things. But certain things aren't testable and they're just theories, Parker, so they can be refuted.
So, okay, so can you give me a particular process to refute this in this scenario?
What do you mean a particular process? You want a particular theory?
Yeah, I am asking what part of the scientific method do you dispute insofar as that you can reject the claims of the COVID vaccine? But you let me finish my statement, dude. Like, again, every single time I speak, you cut me off.
Go ahead.
All right. Give me a process in which you can be able to dispute the scientific method
1 hour,
insofar as that it
30 minutes
rejects
completed.
the conclusions
Burned calories,
from the COVID
390
vaccine, but it does not reject the
Heart rate,
conclusions from, say, the
115
pharmaceutical drugs that you
beats per minute.
referenced in terms of the other scientific claims that you reference and that you agree with.
Yeah, so what you're not understanding is, like, I'm not refuting the fact that Tylenol does, like, do things within the body. I'm refuting the fact that there's side effects to these type of things that I don't think are healthy that we should be putting into our bodies. That's what I'm refuting. There's not enough education and knowledge on these type of things. So when you bring up, like, things like science, I don't refute hypotheses. I don't refute these things. I believe that this is needed within science. What I'm refuting is the fact that they're spreading misinformation on the fact that we have so much data and evidence to show of what the side effects. They're making $16 billion off of vaccines, but they're giving them for free. What you don't understand about vaccines is they're making hella money, billions and billions of dollars off of the chronic illness that comes after these vaccines. This is what you don't understand, Parker. So I refute those things. I don't refute the fact that we can show that a vaccine is doing this, that, and a third. I don't refute all vaccines. And I want to give you a book really quick. Let me grab it really quick for you.
So I just want to highlight for the chat while he does that he did not give me a process in which I asked for. He completely deflected away from the question that I asked and answered something that I never even brought up. Okay. If you want to relate to the idea that there is like chronic illness, right, that is derivative of different types of things or these side effects that they're not referencing, you have to have a process to take that into account, right? Okay. Thank you, super. I appreciate you didn't give me that process, right? You related to the money in terms of vaccinations, right? In order for us to be able to develop these different types of goods and technologies, right, we have to have some sort of profit incentive to be able to create that. And it was the case that governmental entities wanted to incentivize this process to go faster. So what they did is they subsidized the process, right, in order to ensure that companies would be willing to engage in this particular behavior at higher extents to be able to increase the supply of these particular goods. That is talking about increasing aggregate supply. That is the whole idea behind these particular notions, and that's why the profit was distributed in that particular way. Do I like that billions and billions of dollars are going to these pharmaceutical agencies in terms of the overhead costs and stuff like that? No. Do I like the fact that it was significantly more likely to come into the market way faster, given the fact that there was a greater level of profit incentive? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because so many people's lives were absolutely saved because of the fact that these vaccinations were given out to the public.
False. So let me give you a book. It's called Dissolving.
That is not false.
No, it is. So it's called Dissolving.
You can't dispute a single fucking thing that he said. He just lies.
Interesting that you just say I lie. So let me give you a book.
You literally do. You've lied multiple times on this live.
Dispute one thing. If it's false, dispute one thing.
Yeah, let me just give you guys a book to please educate and read for yourself. It's called Dissolving Illusions. For your whole chat and all of you guys, it's called Dissolving Illusions. It'll give you everything you need to know about the polio vaccine and all these different vaccines and all the studies that were pretty much shut down because of what it was actually showing in these vaccines and what it was actually proving. This is all a money scheme, Parker. We can move away from vaccines. I don't really need to talk about vaccines on here.
Wait, by the way, every single time we make a point, he doesn't address any of my arguments against it, and he says we're moving away from it.
No.
This is his way of not addressing any of the arguments that I provide because he has no positions legitimately against it. All he did in response to what I just said is say that there's a book. That doesn't give us any argument. That doesn't give us any position. That doesn't respond to my question when it relates to the process of how you can disconfirm the claims that relate to, again, the COVID vaccine and other things like that, but also accept the ones that you believe in. You gave me absolutely no process to answer for any of the questions that I've brought up in this conversation. You literally,
give me the
not
question,
one.
Parker. Give me the question, Parker.
I just asked it, but you didn't listen again, right? What is a process that you can give to me to be able to dispute claims that are made, right, from the scientific method, that result from the scientific method, right, with the context of COVID vaccines, but you can accept the other ones when it relates to pharmaceutical drugs, right, in relation to the scientific
so
method?
The hypothesis,
what particular parts of the process do you dispute?
Yeah, absolutely. So the hypothesis that the COVID vaccine is protecting people, it's hurting people. That's what I refute, Parker. I don't know how else I have to say this to you.
No, I said the scientific method. He's not listening. Like the platform, what your issue is that you think that you know everything. You think that you already know what I'm saying, and you don't listen to what I'm saying because your ego is so massive. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to bring it down. Let's have a genuine conversation. I don't know a lot. Sure. You don't know a lot.
No, I do know.
The fundamental issue here. You're not understanding.
I do know a lot, Parker. I do have a lot of knowledge on this.
No, you don't.
These things. No,
that's Dunning-Kruger effect. I promise you.
No, I do.
We don't know that much, right? The people that know a lot, they're literally already doing shit,
Parker.
right? They're not on TikTok engaging all the time. They're out there doing shit. They're creating vaccines. They're developing research. They're engaging in shit that is not related to being on TikTok.
Parker,
I promise you that.
I'm getting my doctorate. Okay, so don't worry. I'm out there in the field. I'm doing these things. I'm just telling you. I'm up here on live talking to you and Dean. It doesn't mean I'm not doing things in the world. So when you bring these things up, I just don't know what evidence you
doctorate in what.
It doesn't matter when I'm getting my doctorate.
Oh, he can't fucking answer the damn question. Any of my questions he doesn't answer.
Yeah, because you don't deserve an answer for that. It says.
I don't deserve an answer, right? How about you don't deserve a platform?
Sure, if you want to.
Right, like I don't kick people off. Thank you for the crown, I appreciate it. But you're literally not engaging with anything I'm saying. I'm not going to kick you off, but you're literally not engaging.
Parker,
I'm giving you a platform and you're not engaging.
Parker, I'm recording this whole thing so I can clip you and Dean because you're so fucking.
I'm recording too.
Yeah, so great. So don't tell me I'm not engaging. I've engaged in every single.
So you can clip us? You haven't clipped anything. You haven't answered any of my questions.
Yeah, no, I'm going to clip you.
And you're going to have to clip it because you can't put the context in terms of what you didn't answer. If you put the full thing, it's not going to look good for you. You've dodged every single question I've asked you.
Parker, no, I'm not dodging it. I gave you the reason why I'm telling you. What do you want within the hypothesis?
What part of the scientific method do you dispute?
Within the COVID vaccine?
What part of the scientific method do you dispute insofar as that you can reject these particular claims about the COVID vaccine, but not reject claims about other pharmaceutical drugs that you think are effective?
What does the scientific method have to do with like the COVID vaccine as far as like
how it's developed?
What do you fucking mean? How we determine whether or not this is effective in the first place? What do you mean? How is it relevant?
So Parker, tell me the hypothesis on the COVID vaccine then.
What do you mean the hypothesis? That's a part of the process. I appreciate the paper crane. Thank you so much.
Give me the hypothesis.
Right. It depends on the scenario. It depends on what you're referencing. There are different hypotheses for different parts. For the COVID vaccine, the hypothesis would be that it's effective, right, or not effective in treating this particular illness or symptoms, right? Yeah, that would be a particular hypothesis.
Right,
and what you do is you test the hypothesis, right? Does it or does it not have a statistically significant effect in terms of describing this?
No, it has no.
Right. So you don't just run with a hypothesis. You test hypothesis.
Parker, it has no significant. I refute that hypothesis because we saw flu numbers drop by 80% when the COVID came around. So yes, I refute that whole hypothesis when it comes to
because COVID is significantly more transmissible, and we were wearing masks and social distancing more, which reduced the spread of the flu. That is exactly why.
Do you understand how the flu comes about? Do you even understand anything in virology?
It's an airborne illness, and again, I do know that masks reduce the spread of the flu very, very effectively. And I do know that if other types of airborne illnesses that are more transmissible are spreading around, it is more likely in a circumstance if you're going in public to get infected with COVID, which then if you get infected by COVID, you're not going to be engaging in public as much as you stay at home, you deal with your sickness, stuff like that significantly more.
Okay.
Right? Or you're significantly more likely to do that.
Okay, so I've engaged and I told you what I refuted. Let's move back to why being gay is wrong because I don't want to sit up
by the way. He actually didn't.
No, because I don't want to sit up here and I don't want to move.
Because every single point that I make, you can't actually respond to.
I want to crush you two on the gate why being gay.
You can't crush shit. You failed to respond to any of my points.
No, I'm about to eat you up.
You know what your doctorate is? Your doctorate is in dodging.
I love it, Parker. So
unironically, right? You can't give us the doctorate. You can't give us anything. I appreciate the well dodging. Thank you so much. Every single question I ask you, don't answer.
It's in the
appreciate the little crown. Thank you.
You need to know.
Well, what in the medical field?
Yeah, I'm in an evidence-based chiropractic school. That's what I'm in.
You're a chiropractic. Get a fucking grip, dude. There's no fucking way you flex a doctorate and you're a fucking chiropractor, dude. I actually cannot even believe we live in this world, dude. He flexed a chiropractic.
Parker,
dude.
I said
thank you for the little crown. I can't do it, dude. I actually can't. Platform. There's no way you just did that.
Is that why you're?
That's a clip. That's actually a clip. I'm clipping that. I appreciate the confetti. Thank you. Thank you for that clip. That is going to be a fucking amazing clip. Thank you so much, platform. Thank you for the little crown. I appreciate it. You flexed a fucking chiropractic tongue, dude. I can't even do it, dude. I actually can't even believe it, dude.
Parker, what's funny is I said evidence-based chiropractic.
He's gone, bro.
I said evidence-based
He's gone.
chiropractic.
Homie, Parker's gone.
You guys
platform,
don't debate.
Platform,
you guys
platform.
You
Parker's
waited
gone,
6
bro.
months to debate me, and this is how you're debating me? You've waited 6 months.
Yes, dude. Yes. This is how you're debating me. I actually have asked you questions. Thank you for all the gifts, everyone. I've asked you questions. You didn't respond to any of the questions. I've literally gone through this conversation with you. You didn't engage with any of it.
Chat. Look at the
description. Thank you.
Look at the chat. So
yeah, the chat's laughing at you, bro.
No, they're laughing.
You literally flexed a doctorate, right? And you're fucking a chiropractor.
Parker,
you're not a doctor, dude.
Arm down. Put your stick arm down, Parker. When we talk,
yeah, it is a stick, and you know what's crazy? This stick arm is literally dismantling you right now. That's unbelievable. I never say this in my life. I don't gloat about this stuff, but you literally have no clue what's going on right now.
You guys seem very insecure. You guys seem very insecure. You guys have been waiting a long time to talk.
How am I insecure?
Yeah, you know you're absolutely insecure. So
describe. How am I insecure?
No, let me back up what I said. I said evidence.
No, answer my question. How am I insecure?
You answer and listen.
I like how he can't justify his own claims.
Dude, he just can't
do it, dude.
No, he's been sitting here all night, like making claims and then finding them to be unjustified. Bro, you know that book that you mentioned? The book tries to show a link between autism and vaccinations, by the way.
I'll tell you why
I just wanted to point that out.
And Parker, I can tell you why you're insecure, because you're sitting up here and debating why being gay is wrong. Why? Because you're both gay? Is that why you're doing it? That's what it seems to me. It seems like you guys
no. I appreciate the boxing gloves. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Seems like you guys.
No. So see, platform. Here's a big misconception. So the reason that me and Parker are up here debating this is
okay. Yeah, his argument against us. Wait, no. I just want to clarify this real quick. Let me mute platform real quick. His argument against us is that we're gay, right?
Yo,
we're gay. We're gay, and we're insecure, right? Like what?
You guys let me.
You said we're insecure because we're gay?
We're in.
Like what?
Wait, it doesn't matter.
How does that follow? Please tell me the syllogism in which follows.
You're acting straight, but you know you're gay. That's why you're insecure. That's why you're debating.
I'm acting straight. You know how many people like literally think that I'm gay just because I do this topic?
All right, so let me tell you something. Before you guys both cut me off in the matter of 2 seconds, I said evidence-based chiropractic, right? Do you even understand what that means?
No, all I heard is the chiropractic part, which indicates to me that you are flexing a doctorate in terms of trying to demonstrate some type of medical understanding, some biological understanding, some understanding of the anatomy.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fish. Thank you so much. And yet you fucking lack that.
Parker, you don't understand. We take the exact same course.
Thank you so much.
MD that you will take besides pharmacology. I'm in an evidence-based chiropractic school. We take every single course that an MD will take besides pharmacology. We have
Wait, name them.
Yeah, we take
name some
neurophysiology, neuroanatomy. We take head and neck anatomy. We take spine and extremity anatomy. We take visceral anatomy. These are all cadaver anatomies. We take nutritional biochemistry. We take biochemistry. We take cellular physiology.
Did you take those?
All of these. These are all within my first 3 trimesters, Parker. We take microbiology. We take medical microbiology.
What's the difference between micro and macroevolution?
Yeah, macro is obviously a large scale evolution. Micro is going to be a smaller scale evolution. It's very simple, Parker. I can shoot you down.
Yeah, no, I was asking an extraordinarily simple question just to see if you could, and you could.
This is why I want to debate you guys on pro-life, pro-choice, because I have a very strong understanding in embryology. We take histology, embryology, all of these classes, and you guys probably have a very small understanding of these things. So I could ask
what's my view?
I could ask you the same questions, Parker, and you probably would have no understanding.
Wait, what's my view?
So let me continue.
In relation to like abortion?
I don't know. I don't care.
Do you even know?
Let's get back to why being gay is wrong. I don't care about abortion. We can debate abortion.
Oh, he just got community guidelined. I appreciate the rose. Thank you so much. He just got community guidelined.
Yo, that was like the best debate ever, bro. That was like the best debate ever. We really got some good reason why it's wrong to be gay. You know, the funniest part was when you like went off on like a fucking 30-minute just slaughter of a monologue about like the effectiveness of the COVID vaccine and like why a profit incentive would be like good and would benefit like a net positive. And then he just said it was false. And then
he didn't even engage with it, dude. I can't actually.
No,
bro, people actually think I kicked, bro. I promise I didn't kick. I literally promise. He can literally say in the chat I didn't kick him. Like I really wouldn't. Y'all got me kicked. Okay, so he at least admitted I didn't kick him. I appreciate the little crown. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Then the book that he referenced is a book that like tries to show that vaccines cause autism.
Oh, yeah, of course, right? I know that's exactly what I would expect. Thank you for that mustache. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to go to the next person, everyone. Again, if you like the content, follow me. If you haven't already, tap that screen, everyone. We're almost to 4.1 million likes, everyone. We're getting past
God
that
damn
for
it,
Nadine.
bro.
Let's
God
get it,
damn
everyone.
it.
If you don't like Dean, tap that fucking screenshot. Spam the shares, everyone. You already know the deal. We're going to go to the next person. Again, send a guest request if you disagree. Oh, by the way, did they respond?
Dude, let me check.
That would be pretty wild right now. I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty funny. All right, let's go to the next person. Keep tapping that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 4.1 million likes. Yeah, I appreciate the confetti. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, I'm 19.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Oh, no, I'm super homosexual.
Okay, I appreciate you coming on. I am just looking for disagreeers, though. Thank you so much, man.
Really?
Thank you so much. We're going to the next person. Keep tapping that screen, everyone. 4.1 million likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Oh, okay. It's not going on. Get to the next person, everyone. Again, only send a guest request, y'all.
In the meantime, y'all make sure we're tippity tap tapping away on that phone screen and hit those follow buttons, baby. What's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you think that being gay is going to be wrong or immoral?
I know you're looking for opposition, but both of you are very, very good looking, and that's all I wanted to say. So I hope that made your guys'
Appreciate
night.
it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. We're just looking for some debates.
What's up, Bree? Oh, she's not loaded in yet.
All right, yeah, I don't think this person's loading in. We're going to go to the next one. Give it a second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you do disagree, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. Let's try to get someone up here.
Make sure to hit those follow buttons. Preface the buttons, y'all. What's going on, kid?
She said I tried to riz you. What's up, how old are you? Okay, nice. Let's go to the next person,
got some
everyone.
interesting guests tonight,
Interesting guests tonight. Let's go. Tap that screen, everyone.
And everyone share the live. We're at 2.5 thousand shares right now. Make sure we're sharing the live. What's up? How old are you?
Yeah, thank you for that mustache. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, this person's not here either. Okay, I don't know what's going on. We're going to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. We have the Wizard of Oz in our guest box, everyone. We're not going to go to them.
Oh, Greg. Hello, Greg.
Yo, what's up, Greg?
Guys.
How old are you?
I'm 54.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
You know, I mean, according to the Bible, like everybody else says, there's books of the Bible that talk about sex. And it's
like
not,
which verse?
Sorry?
Name one verse in the Bible that condemns homosexuality.
Homosexuality would be in Leviticus 18:22. It talks about a man laying with a man being an immoral act to God.
Right.
But
So then at the end of Leviticus...
Sorry?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I feel like everybody uses gay to kind of further the heat of the debate. I mean, I understand you guys are trying to get to 4.1 million likes and you have 6.8 thousand.
3.9 million likes. But anyways, so your reference within Leviticus.
Yeah,
this is
so-
going to not
so-
have to be the case. Greg, just 1 second, right? Do you mind if I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet. So yeah, it does say that being gay is going to be an abomination and like we should like unalive gay people in Leviticus. But at the end of Leviticus, what it says is that all the laws in which are outlined inside of Leviticus were directed and specifically only directed towards like the native Israelites because of their differences from the Egyptians or the Canaanites. The Egyptians and the Canaanites practiced like ritualistic, like same-sex, like orgies to pray to their false gods, and this is why it was like specifically like banned inside of Leviticus. But like my main point is that if you read through Leviticus, it quite literally directly says that the laws are only for the Israelites of like 3,000 years ago. And if you do hold Levitican law to be true, well, Levitican law says a lot of things, such as the fact that it says you can't like plant mixed seeds or wear mixed fabrics, or that you have to wear blue tassels at all four corners of your garment. So, I mean, if you do hold yourself to Levitican law, A, you're going to be in contradiction of your own God, and then B, you're going to be just as much of an abomination as a gay man because you do not wear blue tassels at all four corners of your garments.
And that's kind of what the way I was going too, because like I originally said, why is being gay wrong is a kind of a closed statement. I mean, because the book of Leviticus also says a mother shouldn't sleep with her son, a father shouldn't sleep with his daughter. There shouldn't be adultery. There shouldn't be, homosexual intercourse, and there should be no sex with animals either. which are all considered abominations to God as well. But we kind of all kind of go towards gay seems to be the new smoke and mirrors for.
There's no smoke and mirrors about same-sex attraction.
No, I'm talking about like when you look at like in the news, you see it becomes an issue in the news.
Do you want to know why?
I mean, if you let me talk just for a second, I can. I mean, you can tell me if you want, but
No, go ahead.
no. Okay, so like I was saying, I mean, they're using. I mean, you go back to the Obama administration, and when Obama was in office, he used the same-sex marriage to cover up the stuff with the what was it called when they were Monsanto. So the Monsanto Act, for instance.
Tommy, we're asking a question. We're asking, why is it wrong to be gay? Why is it immoral to like have same-sex attractions or engage in same-sex intercourse, right?
Well,
so stand on.
I think the only basis that people have to stand on is a religious basis because of what's in the Bible.
Right. So like, anyways, I just want to get back on topic. I mean, just to like quickly answer your question of like the whole smoke and mirrors thing. No, it isn't smoke and mirrors. What it is we see a marginalized group of our society, gay individuals or non-straight individuals, like having extreme prejudice held against them, like such as you who thinks it's immoral to be gay, right? So like fighting for the social like advocation or acceptance of, this marginalized group of society is going to be like a good thing, right? Because I like rationale. I like rationale. But anyways, back on track here, you said it's wrong to be gay because in Leviticus it says it's an abomination. Well, like, please respond to my claim. If you read the entirety of Leviticus, it quite literally states in your own scripture, God says these rules are only for the ancient Israelites. So you would have a strong argument as to why it would be wrong to be gay as an Israelite living over 3,000 years ago. But my question to you, Greg, is are we Israelites living over 3,000 years ago?
And that answer would be no. And also because Christ died on the cross, he also abolished. For Christians living today, they don't really have to live by those laws because there was a savior that.
Right. So.
Hey sis.
Well, I was just going by what was written in the Bible.
Yeah, well, you're going by what was written in the Bible. If you were going by what was written in the Bible, then you want to be cherry picking what's written in the Bible. You just like quite blatantly stated that when Jesus died on the cross, you don't have any more obedience to the Old Testament. But if you do show obedience to the Old Testament says that, like, when it says that being gay is an abomination, it says that rule was only for the Israelites living 3,000 years ago. This isn't like an exegesis. This isn't an interpretation. This isn't like me trying to think of a counter argument. This is just me reiterating your scripture to you. So why is it wrong to be gay?
It goes back to any sin that, why is it wrong?
How do you know it's a sin? How do you know it's a sin to be gay?
How do I know? Well, because it was stated in the Bible that it was a sin to be
Where?
Many scriptures. Jesus even spoke of it.
Yeah, so then name the scriptures. Name every single one.
Well,
that's actually not true. Jesus did not speak about it.
Yeah.
Jesus spoke of immoralities of the flesh.
Not in terms of being gay. Nope. Not once did Jesus speak about.
Well, I would have to look at.
Greg, can you name any place in the Bible where it condemns homosexuality?
Well, there's I think there's in Corinthians, in the book of Corinthians, that speaks of it.
Right, and the original like Greek language used is going to be the word arsenioke, and at its most literal translation, this is not condemning homosexuality, but rather like forms of idolatry or even potentially pedophilia, right? So that's a mistranslation. In fact, translations of the Bible that did condemn homosexuality only started to appear in 1946. So if we are to like assume like God's word, then we should probably assume God's word at the most literal translation, which would be the Greek, and the Greek version of the Bible does not condemn homosexuality.
Here, let's refer to particularly like the idea here, right? How do we know that the Bible is accurate or reliable in describing to us what's right and wrong about morality?
I think it was I guess because there was a certain amount of people that used the Bible as reference for thousands of years. It was used based upon what people believed to be the right thing, I guess.
No. Wait, are you Christian?
I've been to church.
Are you Christian though? Do you think that Jesus is God?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, so you have faith in Jesus and you worship him?
I have, yes.
Do you now?
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like it. I mean, I also, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, as you get older, you start kind of, and you look at things and you hear things and you know, but you still have that fundamental in the back of your head thought of, you know, we're all going to die, I guess, is my theory, is that like death is the only guarantee that we have in life, is that we're going to die eventually. And I guess it's better to, in my opinion, it's better to have a belief. They say the second death is the separation from God. So I don't want that to happen when I die in the next life.
So it's because you fear of it. So Pascal's wager. So like the idea here is that this is applicable to any other notion, right? If I told you that there was some like religion that actually the people who believe in like Christianity and other types of religions like that, they're the ones that go to hell, and the people that do not believe, they're the ones that go to heaven, right? That would be just as much in terms of justified as your view, right? And just as much justification. Right. So there would be no reason to accept one over the other here. Pascal's wager would be fear based on both sides.
Right. That makes sense.
By the way, platform, I didn't call to get you banned.
Yeah, I don't have a.
He's a conspiracy theorist.
Sorry, Greg, what are you saying? I apologize.
Oh no, I was just saying I don't have a debate on that. I don't dispute that.
Yeah, that's why I think that Pascal's wager isn't convincing at all, is because like it's the same thing applies with every other religion. Like, why are you scared of the hell from Islam?
No, because I don't believe that Islam. Oh, I mean, if you look at all the other religions say there's a way to do this, there's a way to do that. But in Christianity, Christ was the only person that walked on the earth that said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody will come to the Father but by me.
I mean, those are just claims. You don't know if those are true. You decide to have faith in those, but those are just claims.
Right.
The same reason as to why they say like, oh, the Prophet Muhammad had this spiritual experience with the angel Gabriel and dictated the Quran, right? And therefore I believe in that. That's just faith as well. That's
a faith-based claim, but he never went around saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life either, though.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing that you decide to believe in. So that's your faith plea, right? So the idea is that these aren't distinct. If you're not scared of the hell from Islam, why are you scared of the hell from Christianity? They're the same. They require the same justification here. They're both just faith claims.
Right. I mean, I guess there would be a sense of fear if that was something that I believed in wholeheartedly, you know, all the way around the board. I would say, okay, you know, that hell would be just as scary as any other hell. It would be a separation from God in the end. And that's really all hell is a separation from God.
Is separation from God just non-existence?
Well, some people say that. Some people say it's just you just disappear. You're done. You know, you'll burn for a while and then you'll be destroyed in a lake of fire, kind of thing. You know, I mean, everybody's got their pictures of hell.
Yeah, again, these are all just faith claims. So like, if we're literally not scared of it when it relates to other religions, I don't know why we would be scared of this one. Really, no reason for me there. This just seems to be back into the point of like, I just decide to believe this thing, which, I mean, we are going to say leads to absurdities, like we just mentioned. Is there anything else you'd like to go over or talk about?
No, I was just saying that was my belief system as to why I believe that being gay is wrong or you know, an abomination or whatever.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
You as well. We're gonna go into the next person. Everyone, keep tapping that screen. We're so fucking close, chat. We're so close, everyone. Keep tapping that screen, everyone. 4.2 million likes. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going.
You know, I told myself I was gonna hop off of here at about midnight. But I think I'm gonna hang out until we get that 4.1. I gotta stick around.
I'm so down. We've been on for so long time. I think this live's been 9 hours so far.
Jeez.
So yeah, no, I feel fine. I'm not even like tired, to be honest.
Oh, I just got
like absolutely zero tiredness.
I just got a brunch I gotta get to, and if I don't go to bed soon,
I get you on that. I don't have shit tomorrow, so we can stay up. We can stay up, everyone. Not platform saying W platform in the comment section. Yikes, bro. He was like, "Why am I getting muted?" And he was saying that in the chat. Yeah, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, boys? I'm 18.
Yeah, do you think it's wrong or moral to be gay?
Yeah.
Why so? 4 million, everyone. W's in the fucking chat.
So can I just say a few things without getting cut off? I just have a few things, and then I'll let y'all talk about those. It's about like everything.
How long? Like, I'm actually serious. Like, if you preface it like that, is it going to be like 10 minutes long?
Hell no.
I don't cut people off, really.
Quick.
Okay, well then why'd you preface it with like, don't cut me off?
I'm just saying, just don't cut me off. Because y'all do that a lot. So, first off.
No, I do that a lot. That's my thing, not his thing.
Yeah. So first off, platform destroyed y'all. Second off, he answered every single one of y'all's claims and y'all cut him off and continue to cut him off, and then y'all reported him. And
yo, I just love delusion. I unironically just love the delusion.
Y'all got shit on.
I mean, I don't think he answered any of the questions.
No,
clearly
he did.
speaking, I've recorded this. You can watch it later on YouTube.
2
And
hours
he doesn't
completed.
answer any of the questions
Burned
that we
calories,
referenced. We even went over
509
right
calories.
after what questions he's
Heart rate,
particularly
87
didn't
beats per
answer.
minute.
So I don't know what you're
Which
talking
were?
about when it relates to that. So for example, when it relates to like the vaccines, right? I was asking him for the particular things that he disputes within the scientific method, right? In which could necessarily say that he disputes the conclusions formed from the scientific method when it relates to the COVID vaccines, but not when it relates to the different types of pharmaceuticals that he believes are effective or useful. Okay.
So here's my fault.
Then also, I just wanted to add on real quick before you go. If you're willing to indulge in a conspiracy theory, such as me and Parker mass reporting platform to get him off the live, while like having like no rationale or substantiation to back this claim, like there literally exists not like a fucking empirical data point to support that claim.
You sound like a
you'd probably be like good friends with him, right? Just indulging in conspiracy theory does sound like a commonality that I'm observing between him and yourself.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that.
First off, you sound like very emotional right now.
Very emotional.
What was that?
So emotional.
You are. You just hide it with your deep tone talk, but really, I know you're very insecure. Just very
Another
emotional.
conspiracy theory.
But no. So here's the thing.
No, seriously, another conspiracy
Why were y'all
theory.
even talking about all that when the real question was like, why is it?
Wait, can I ask you a real question real quick? What's your birth year?
Let me talk.
No, I need you to answer this because there's a lot of people in the comment section saying it, and I did just click on your profile, and you do look a little young, right? So can I just ask you the question? What's your birth year?
My exact birthday and show you my life.
Yeah, like what's your birth year? Yeah.
Yeah, January 23rd, 2005. These are old TikToks. Like, bro, it's not even my main account. It's the only account I can go live on. So.
Oh, they're from 2021. Sure,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. So, fuck, y'all made me lose. So, y'all are like saying all these stuff, but every single time I go in the live and someone gets off topic, y'all go back to like, all right, we're only talking about why is being gay wrong. But whenever he wants to go back to why is being gay wrong, then you'll have a problem with it. But when other people do it, then like you see
used as a pivot, man.
It's quite hypocritical.
Wait, sorry, can you restate that? I actually just zoned out for a second. Can you just restate that again?
Yeah. So he was kept on trying to go back to why is being gay wrong, correct? So I'm on y'all's live every day to see this bullshit. And every single time someone tries to go off topic, y'all go, all right, let's stick to why is being gay wrong. But whenever he does it, then it's a problem. So I think it's quite hypocritical.
Oh, I mean, we'll finish the particular dialogue tree when it relates to that, and then we'll say if it like relates to some sort of circular claim, right?
Gotcha.
We brought up a response to what he said. He didn't respond to any of the claims that I brought up, and then he did just say to go back. He actually didn't. I actually literally, again, I have this on recording, right? I literally can show you. I just told you. I literally just verbalized it to you what particularly he did not account for. Can you give me his account for that?
Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Great. Can you give me his account for that?
Can you say the whole question?
Yeah. Can you give?
Yeah. So can you give his account for that? That in terms of his response to like me asking him the question about the scientific method.
No, I'm not as smart as y'all. I didn't really.
Great. I have another question to add on to that. Can you please give like platforms rebuttal?
I can kind of tell.
Can you give platforms rebuttal or account to Parker? You know, like.
Oh no, he said he doesn't have it. He said he doesn't have it.
Yeah, no.
He said he's not as smart as us. He doesn't have it.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about another claim, man.
This is like my first year in college. Like y'all are way older than me. I mean, y'all kind of expect me to be.
I'm
like
a senior in college.
Yeah, exactly.
Second year in college.
Okay, great. I just got out of high school. Y'all are expecting me to be a super genius. Like
I'm not expecting you being a super genius.
You just said
you just said that we got destroyed. How did we get destroyed?
Y'all did.
Yeah. Do you have any reason why it's going to be wrong,
bro? But like, okay, actually, let's think about this, right? This is like someone who doesn't understand physics at all, right? Saying to someone who actually engages with physics, maybe he's taken a few classes that they don't know what they're talking about.
You listed like 50 classes that he took, so it sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
No, I was talking about you right now.
Oh, what about
right? And the classes that he's took, right? Sure, right? He might have taken those classes. I'd like to have further conversations with him about that to like see what he means, right? But he still yet, even given that he took those classes, failed to answer any of my questions. Like legitimately speaking, I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to make a point against him or because I'm trying to deflect against him. He like legitimately speaking didn't answer or account for any of my questions.
Gotcha.
And by the way, 4.1 everyone. W's in the chat. Eldeen, spam the chat with Eldeens right now. We need some Eldeens. Eldeens all in the chat. This is your freedom and your time to say Eldeen, chat. This is your freedom. Say it. Go for it. Go for the Eldeen. Go for it. Go for it.
Dang, that one hurts, man. That one hurts. No, I'm just kidding, man.
That's rough. No, this is fucking
That's
wild,
nuts,
bro. This is absolutely wild.
Nuts. So we're setting records, like unironically, bro. Fucking setting records. This is the most likes ever on a debate TikTok live.
No shit.
Just to let you all know.
That's actually fucking crazy.
Million.
That's crazy. All right, well, I'm gonna keep on tuning into y'all shit. I mean, I learn something every day.
Appreciate it.
Whether it's on y'all's side or whether it's on the other side, I just like to be educated on this stuff. I think it's fun. I think that what y'all do is pretty cool. But yeah, y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Right. How do I leave this? All right, kick me off.
I got you. All right, yeah, that was fucking wild. Are you gonna stay up here for a bit? I'm still down to keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna hop off just so I could go make some dinner and go to bed.
For sure. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, this is absolutely wild. This is the biggest live I've ever held for sure. But like, yeah, let me go to the next person, everyone. We're gonna get one more person on here for Dean here tonight, everyone.
No, dude, this is
thank you for the hands. I appreciate Emily.
This is a W co-host. This is a W live on your end. It's just been going crazy for 9 hours.
Yo, what's going on, Tony?
Yo, it's good.
How old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
Yeah.
Why?
Why so?
I think, I think the thing that's going to happen right now too is I think you guys are going to want me to point to like specific scientific data points on why.
Homie, just give an argument. Why is it wrong to be gay?
Okay, all right, geez. Anyway, this guy. I would say it is clearly like just unnatural to be gay, and that is obvious by the sense that if everyone was gay, then humans would just die off. And I think that's just one point as to why being gay is almost fundamentally wrong.
Sweet. Is being infertile immoral?
No.
What would happen if everyone on the earth was infertile?
See, yeah, but this is like zoning on that particular argument. But I'm saying that's one reason why it is fundamentally, I would say, just not natural. It's not like it's not something to be encouraged, I would say.
All right, so you said that being gay is immoral because if everyone on Earth was gay, humanity would cease to exist. First of all, this claim is just analytically incorrect because being bisexual is a non-straight sexual orientation in which you can procreate. Then there's also solutions to reproduction, even if you are gay, such as IVF or surrogacy. But if we accept this notion that those don't exist and being bi doesn't exist, then you have to deal with the contradiction that I pointed out. You said that there's nothing wrong with being infertile. Being infertile is not immoral, but we would see like an even more drastic outcome of a reduction of like the amount of reproduction if everyone was infertile, right? So that's going to be your first contradiction.
Yeah, I think the argument should be it's not necessarily that it's like immoral or wrong, but I think, or it could be potentially can be considered as wrong. It's something that probably shouldn't be encouraged because I'm not somebody who believes in like conversion therapy, for example. I'm not like totally sure. I mean, I saw one of your lives earlier where you were talking about part of the hypothalamus in the brain is actually developed differently to make people like biologically gay. That is something you believe?
So, I mean, a drastic oversimplification of my position, but yeah, being gay is going to be based upon our anatomy and our genome, right? It's just sexual orientation as a whole. That's what the empirics show us. And you say like being gay shouldn't be encouraged. Well, I think it should be like encouraged and accepted, right? And like the specific reason as to why I say this is because it's something that happens naturally. It's something that these individuals cannot control, and it is something that does not necessarily like preclude to harm, right? So this is why it should definitely be accepted. But now you don't think it should be accepted because you're worried about more people becoming gay. And my simple response to this is being gay isn't a choice, and it cannot be caused by socialization, and it can only be caused by anatomy and genome. And then also W subs, y'all. W fucking subs.
I don't platform sub.
I think
I appreciate the sub.
I think it's a crazy opinion to think that being, let's say, gay or even committing homosexual acts, because you could say maybe someone, because I think I think sexual orientation is like to some degree fluid. Someone brought up the fact that you could go to jail and that straight men turn gay, and you said that no, straight men don't turn gay. Straight men just do, I guess, homosexual acts in jail. Correct? That's what you said.
My simple response to this was straight men are going to be deprived from sex or sexual intercourse or any type of intimacy, and they will sometime try to relieve their feelings of wanting to bone by boning a dude, but this wouldn't necessarily correlate to same-sex attraction, and I define being gay as same-sex attraction.
Also, secondly, right, just because someone goes into prison or jail not gay, right, and comes out gay, doesn't mean that going to prison caused them to be gay. This would be a correlation causation fallacy.
Yeah, I suppose, but I definitely believe that homosexuality can bleed through culture when it is encouraged and actually not encouraged, it's accepted, but also encouraged and kind of pushed onto the youth. I think that can socialize people to a degree that actually makes them more likely to be gay. That's like what I think.
Name one study.
Yeah, see, this is where it goes, right? I don't have a study that talks about socialization of gays, but if you tell me that right now that we don't have a higher percentage of people that indulge or are curious about being gay or something like that. Oh my god.
All right. So here's your first issue.
Hold up. This is hilarious. Okay, what is this? Let's see it.
Right. So your first issue is going to be saying that like being gay is going to be caused by socialization when like the entirety of the medical consensus disagrees with you. Right. So when we're talking about institutions of science or medicine and like also medical health professionals, they all disagree with you. In fact, there's not one academic study or institution or medical professional that does agree with you. In all the studies that have been done, such as the Netherlands Institute for Brain Research or such as the Center for Neurodoctrine Studies at the University of Pittsburgh, Massachusetts or UCLA, they all tell us the exact opposite. And they've shown like correlations between being gay and like our anatomy, our genome, and specifically like, you know, the size of the anterior commissure is shown by this study. I would highly recommend you to look this up on PubMed. I would highly recommend you to take a screenshot and look up the PMD. I would highly recommend you to do some actual fucking research, because this idea that it's caused by socialization is nothing more than a silly theory or thought inside of your head that really has no rationale or coherent backing to it.
Okay, sexual. What is it? So what does this study do? What do they talk about?
All right, so they talk about the correlations between the size of the anterior commissure, which is a part of the human brain, and sexual orientation. I mean, this is just one of them, right? So we could also look at this study that kind of studied like the genome associations of sexual orientation and denoted like specific physicalities of the genome in correlation to gay men and straight men, and specifically the XQ23 chromosome. I mean, here's like another study that talks about the same thing. And I mean, I could just kind of like lead you down this rabbit hole all night, but this rabbit hole is really just going to dismiss the idea that it's a choice or caused by socialization.
Yeah, I mean, originally when I said that statement, I kind of had this idea where it's like, not that a bunch of people are just going to turn gay, but maybe somebody who is potentially on the fence or more agreeable or more like impressionable might be more likely to try a homosexual act or indulge in that behavior because of culture. That is my idea, but I'm not going to show you a study. But
and then how this like show being gay is wrong?
Wait, actually, if that's the case, that doesn't even necessarily mean that people are more likely to be gay. That means people are more likely to be accepted in being gay, and since they're more likely to be accepted, they're more likely to engage in gay intercourse because of the fact that they're accepted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to some degree. But the thing about it also is that you guys want me to bring up like specific studies, and like I'm just not. I don't have specific studies that I've read that like prove this, but like I think just the observance of, let's say, like gender fluidity and let's say transgender people getting surgery and more people saying they're like gender fluid and non-binary, all that stuff.
So there's a big difference between sexual orientation and gender, and do not correlate the two to be one and the same. And definitely don't make an argument on why being gay is wrong based off upon an argument as to why gender identity is wrong or the fluidity that exists within it.
No, I'm saying you have people. Yeah, no, you're correct. But I was just making an argument that humans are very sociable in regards to I guess, but you're saying gender and sexual orientation are very different, and that's why you're saying what I was saying.
Of course they are. So don't reference them, right?
Yeah, but that's why you were going to completely dismiss what I was bringing up, is the fact that because more people are transgender, that doesn't correlate to the argument, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it doesn't correlate to the argument.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have another debate with you over that. Like, right? I don't think that, like, transsexualism is fluid at all, right? But, like, I'm not here to talk about that, am I? We're here to talk about why it's wrong to be gay.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I kind of came on here just, like, trying to have a conversation because I'm, like my mind can be changed on this type of thing. If someone were to ask me on the street, I would say, yeah, probably. It's probably wrong. But I don't have, like, a really strong belief in it. But I wanted to see if I could just come and stump you guys on something. But, I mean, I don't really have... Like, I'm not that passionate about it, so I don't really care that much.
Right. Of course, man. So, like, your first argument was that it's wrong because they can't reproduce, right? Or am I losing my mind?
I'm kind of running with stuff as I think about it. I don't even have like something I'm thinking about. But yeah,
so let me give something that may be like a little bit more logical under your worldview. Do you think that celibacy is wrong, just simply refraining from engaging in sex?
No, yeah. I mean, you're going to lead me to an argument, but no, of course not. I don't think celibacy is wrong. I think celibacy could be a really good thing, obviously.
Right. So now I could just accept your notion that being gay is a choice or could be caused by environmental or societal factors by just relating it to something that definitely is a choice, such as celibacy. If everyone on the earth was celibate, well then fuck, no more kids. But you don't call celibacy immoral.
Yeah, celibacy is always a means to an end, though. It's always a means to, like, I would get married and then have sex.
Right, so we're just going to like be referring to celibacy and the fact that they're just simply not going to engage in sex. They're just not going to have a kid.
Yeah, because I guess nobody's ever a celibate. without the idea of eventually having kids, unless they're like asexual or something.
No. The Pope,
or
the Catholic Church, the nuns, the priests of the Catholic Church, a lot of ministers, monks are celibate. I mean, there's a lot of individuals across the globe that we would.
Are you Christian?
Yeah, I would consider myself Christian, I suppose.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Jesus
is king, yeah.
Celibate.
He was celibate.
Yeah, see, like you brought up monks and priests and all those people, which is, it's interesting to even think about that.
Just like the most morally apt people that we collectively agree on in society, like by our varying viewpoints, such as like popes or priests, nuns, monks, or fucking Jesus Christ. They're celibate. So are you gonna call them just as immoral as a gay person because they can't reproduce?
No, I don't agree with that statement. But it's crazy because I think priests and popes and a lot of people like that they've been busted for such like horrific sexual acts and stuff, like in the Catholic Church and stuff like that too. So it just kind of
well, it's obviously not all of them, but it is predominant, and it is something that is like someone has a greater likelihood or is more predisposed to happen in this particular circumstance than many others, right? But I wouldn't say it happens across all the board, even though, right, again, I have no need to say that, right? Like I'm not Catholic or anything.
Are you guys Catholic or Christian, either of you?
Nope. I'm agnostic atheist.
What about
which
this
means I don't
guy?
know and I don't believe.
What about this guy?
Yeah, I'm agnostic atheist.
Agnostic atheist. So atheist is when you like don't believe in God. Agnostic is when you don't know. Which one would you say you would lean more towards?
Agnostic means I don't know, and then atheist within this perspective means I just lack a belief. So because I don't know, I lack a belief.
Okay.
Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, for a second I thought you guys were arguing for this, but you guys are Christians. But I don't like how Dean, this guy earlier, was just like, oh, that guy platform, he's a conspiracy theorist. Like, conspiracy theorist is such a silly word that basically means that if you don't believe in like the mainstream idea about a subject, that you're a conspirator. You're like that term. I'm pretty sure was.
We're not using it in a vague connotation there.
No, I mean you're crapping on this guy platform. I don't even know what his argument was to you guys. But
that's the problem. That's
the problem. Actually,
but
he said first off he started with that he rejects science, and then he said he rejects parts of science, and then he cited us stuff that says that like autism is caused by vaccinations, which is not true. Something that's been debunked across the board. Appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much. Okay. Like that's something that's widely disputed across the entire scientific community. There's a consensus against this. Appreciate the hand heart. Thank you so much. So, I mean, we can go through like the entire process. He disputed the effectiveness or efficacy of COVID vaccines or of like vaccines in general. He disputed the efficacy of things even like Tylenol. Appreciate the hand hearts. Thank you so much.
That's weird. I don't know about Tylenol. Even though
that's a conspiracy theorist, right?
Well,
we're not using that in a vague sense.
Stuff, but it's because not because I've dived into all of the literature. Like I believe I believe vaccines, at least some of them, like COVID vaccines in particular, are linked to like some bad stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but it actually leads to like less likelihood of you being negatively impacted comparative to like getting COVID or not getting vaccinated.
So you guys are pro-vaccine then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What's interesting about that?
There should be nothing interesting about that.
It's just interesting. Like you both of you seem like smart dudes, but you seem that you don't like to believe something that I would say mainstream scientists would agree on. Like if mainstream science were to say something is the case, I think both of you would just be like, yeah, that's like where I want to lead.
No, that's an appeal to authority.
Yeah, in like a general sense, it's going to be correct, right? But like, yeah, we would look at like the claims, the evidence, right? We're not going to just like not look at the evidence, but yeah, consensus is showing overwhelming evidence most circumstances. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the
That's all I
handouts.
meant earlier when he said, "Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist." Oh yeah, platform, he's a conspiracy theorist. When there's a lot of conspiracy theories that end up being correct and are actually important, I think, to
sure, right? But we're talking about to a particular threshold. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. We're not just saying someone has one conspiracy theory. We're saying like they have a range. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Like, there's a difference between someone who believes in like one conspiracy theory that's maybe likely true, right, versus another person who literally, right, believes that like JFK Jr. is still alive, right? Donald Trump is president of the United States. There are literal aliens on the planet, the Nordics craze, right? They're running this they're under the species underneath the ground, right? Like all those other, like, I'm not joking, right? There is a literal, like, people believe these things. I'm not joking. I've met them. I've talked to them. I know people that believe these things, right? Even close people to me, right? So like that's the level of extent that these types of things have. That's why I come on and argue these things, is because ultimately speaking, yes, it does get to a point where people have this level of range. And I'm not using that in a vague sense. Dean's not using that in a vague sense. This is literally applicable. Okay, well then that makes more sense to me. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Honestly, I mean, we can kind of just leave it at that. You know, this is a decent conversation, and I don't really care about the gay thing. But yeah, man, good luck, guys.
Have a good one, bro.
For sure. All right. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off for the night, go grab myself some dinner, and try to hit the hay. Eventually fix the sleep schedule.
Miles, thank you for the subscription. Yeah, Parker, no, you do need to fix that, bro.
Yeah, Parker, thank you so much for letting me come up and co-host today. It's been a phenomenal stream, and I'm absolutely so happy for you. Fucking 4.3 million likes. That's just out of this world. Everybody, it's been a phenomenal evening.
Okay,
thank you all for your time. And Parker, have a nice night. Chat, have a good one. Peace out.
I'll see you later, bro. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate all the hand hearts. Thank you so much, Sarah. Absolute W's, by the way. Hey, I just want to say W's for everyone in the chat. This is fucking insane. Thank you for all the hand hearts. I appreciate it. 4.3 million likes. That is the most likes I've ever got on a live anyone. That is honestly wild. It really is. It's fucking really cool, chat. This is the biggest debate live, right, on TikTok. This is the biggest one right here. We've been on for 9.5 hours almost today, everyone. Thank you for the hand hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Should we continue to go a little bit more? What should we do, chat? I don't know. Is that too much? I think it already is. Thank you for the sunglasses. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Should we do one more? Let's do one more tonight. We can do one more alone. Appreciate the hand hearts. Thank you so much. One more. Send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. In the meantime, everyone, share the fucking live. Keep tapping that screen. Let's run up that like button, everyone. Let's run that fucking shit up. Let's go, chat. Run that fucking like button up. We're getting to 4.5. We're getting to 4.6. We're getting to 4.7. We're getting to 4.8. Let's fucking go, chat. Run it up. Let's go. All right, everyone. We're going to get someone else up here. Again, if you disagree, send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, y'all. Yo, I appreciate all the hand arts. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Kat, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it.
29.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
So yeah, I do believe it's being.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Wrong. Why so?
Because the fact that God made female and male to like each other and not a male to male or female to female.
And thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the hand hearts. Okay, so it's going to relate to the existence of God particularly. So how do we know that this God exists in order to say that this particular claim about morality is going to be reliable?
Okay, look around you. You think a human mind can create everything that you see? You go outside.
No, I don't think it was human mind. Well, I mean, right now around me, yes, human mind. I'm looking at a house.
Yeah, but outside like nature. Not material.
Well, a lot of that is built by humans, right? If we go to nature, appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. No.
Okay, so the sky was built by humans?
No.
The grass?
Some grass.
Well, artificial grass. But we're talking about like
we grew the grass, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the sky, the oceans, mountains.
Okay, yeah. I'm not making claims that humans made that, right? Clearly not, right? But that doesn't mean that it was caused by God, right? I think there are naturalistic explanations for these different types of phenomena.
Okay, so you believe you're going towards the Big Bang Theory then?
Well, I think the Big Bang Theory you can hold to even if you're Christian, right? If you hold the belief in religion, you can still hold to the Big Bang Theory. Most Christians do even.
I don't believe in religion. I believe in God. I have faith to God. I don't believe in religion because religion.
You think Jesus is God?
Huh? No, there's difference. Jesus is the Son of God, and God is God, creator of everything.
Yeah, so you are Christian?
No, I'm not a Christian. I believe in God. Religions are made to divide and conquer.
Do you have faith in God?
Yeah, I do.
Do you worship God?
In which way?
Do you worship?
Which way?
Like, what way do you worship? And in any way, do you consider yourself in
There's
terms
a
of
lot
worship?
of people like nowadays. You go to church and people worship. Like they talk about the pastor will talk about his stuff.
I'm asking about you particularly. Like, under your own definition of the term worship, do you worship?
No, not worship. Like that's why I'm asking you what type of worship. Because nowadays they
under your own definition.
My definition is I pray to God. I talk to God every day.
Okay, so you do. So that's what's called a religion, right? Is when you have faith and you worship a supernatural entity, being that like created the universe, brought it into existence, right? So you do believe in religion, right? You just don't like what's generally considered within organized religion.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You don't like what's generally considered in terms of organized religion, but you absolutely believe in a religion, right? And you do follow religion, but that's just like language and stuff. I don't really care much about that. Sarah, I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the orange as well. Thank you. So, when it relates to this, again, how do we know that this particular God exists? Is it just based upon faith, or what do you do?
Because you didn't come out of nowhere. It's just like you're here because of a God. So you believe. What is your belief then?
Wait, just because we didn't come from nowhere, why does that imply a God? Right? Because again, I say that we could be explained by naturalistic phenomena, right? For example, right? When you say that God has always existed, is like eternal, right? And then caused the universe into existence. Well, I can say the same thing is true about a particular set of fundamental particles. I can say this set of fundamental particles is eternal, right? And it caused us into existence. It doesn't have a mind. It's not all knowing. It's not all powerful. It's not all good. And it still caused us into existence.
Okay. So what will be yours then?
I don't think any of these explanations are sufficient. We're still just assuming, right? Under both of these models, these are just assumptions, right? But particularly here, right, this would be more likely in terms of an explanation than what you've provided me, because I assume less things, right? I don't have to assume that God is all knowing, all powerful, all good. I don't have to assume the miracles in the Bible. I don't have to assume that Jesus is the Son of God, right? I don't have to assume all of these different claims, right?
Okay.
So since I don't have to assume all these different claims, I think it's pretty clear, right, that since I have less assumptions and I'm explaining the exact same question, that it would be more likely to be true.
So do you believe in a God?
No, I don't. Appreciate the hand hearts. Thank you so much,
Why
Sarah.
is
You're going
that?
crazy. Because I don't think that there's good reason to. When it relates to the Abrahamic religions, I think there are contradictions. When it relates to other gods, I could reject them off the argument I just provided you. It's called theoretical simplicity, right?
Yeah.
So it's saying that I require less assumptions to explain
2
the
hours,
exact same
30 minutes
question.
completed.
Right? Or
Burnt
exact same thing
calories
within reality.
629 calories.
Okay. So
Heart rate 84
you basically
beats
believe
per
you came
minute.
out of nowhere, pretty much.
No, I don't believe we came out of nowhere, right? I don't think there's a sufficient explanation, right? But this explanation that I'm providing in terms of comparing these two different explanations, like the naturalistic explanation and the God explanation, right? I appreciate the hand hearts. Thank you so much. Right? That is more likely to be true because it requires less assumptions, right? It's a prior state of fundamental particles. So that's still something, right? But it's not your God.
Okay. So let's put it this way then. If you believe that there's no God, then so you're an atheist then.
I'm agnostic atheist, yeah.
Okay. Let's put it this way then. So I'm gonna answer your question about us being gay wrong, okay? But I want to ask you this. So if you get on a plane, God forbid, or whatever you believe in, you forbid from dying. If you get in a plane and that plane is going down, you're not gonna pray to God. You're just gonna sit there and panic.
No.
What will you do then? Just put yourself in that scenario right now. Think of yourself.
Try to contact my family?
If you can. At that altitude, I don't think you can be. You're not.
Maybe I'll be able to connect at some point, or like there's Wi-Fi on planes.
I don't think you're gonna be thinking about that, man. If the plane's going down quick.
Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. I actually would.
So you would try to call your family.
Maybe I'd go live.
You won't pray.
Actually, no, I'm kidding. I would not go live. But yeah, maybe I'll contact my family.
Okay. All right, man. So going back to the gay question, I honestly believe that if God created man and female, and it's in the Bible, we go back to the Bible, right?
And thank you for the subscription.
If God created the man for the woman and the woman for the man, the simple fact that if I don't know if you can say this in live, but so if I were to ban a guy, he can't bring a baby to life like a female does. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Okay, so if I were to bang a guy, like if we have intimacy, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to produce a child from engaging with that individual if they're male.
So that's proving right there that's wrong. How are you gonna?
No. So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it's wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a woman that is infertile?
No. Why would that be wrong?
Because it doesn't lead to reproduction.
Okay.
You just said that if an action that's sexual doesn't lead to reproduction, then it's immoral, right? This action that was sexual didn't lead to reproduction, and yet you didn't consider it to be immoral.
I'm sorry. Say the last part again.
Yeah, this action was sexual and didn't lead to reproduction, yet you didn't consider it to be immoral.
Okay. So still, so you have. How can I put this? Like, okay. So if you have a guy in front of you, and it's fine, bro, because I got family that's gay and everything. Are you gay? What would he have? No.
No.
You straight? Okay. So for me, I'm straight. I like females. I got friends and cousins that are gay. That's fine with me. That's up to them. But for me, it's an instinct. Like if you like a girl, it should be fine. But if you like a guy, how are you gonna be kissing with another guy and doing different things? Like you're not supposed to.
Why aren't you supposed to?
Because it's in the Bible.
So it goes back to God. What's the justification for your religion?
I don't have a religion. I'm just saying.
What's the justification for your God existing?
What do you mean by that?
How do you know your God exists?
Because, like I said earlier, you go outside and everything, like oceans, skies, mountains. You can, like a human mind cannot create that.
Again, I didn't say a human mind had to. Remember, I gave you an argument that was more likely to be true because it required less assumptions, and it can still explain the exact same thing. Because if you think about it, right, God could have had an infinite set of desires that could have created different realities than the one we exist in today. Right, so we would have to assume that randomly God had the necessary desires to bring about this reality rather than a reality with just slime or a reality with just marbles. I appreciate the subscription, thank you so much. Or a reality where I'm just live, right? But God decided to create this particular reality rather than any of those. Why did God desire this reality rather than any of those? God could have desired those, but God randomly desired these. Okay, so in that same way that you could say, oh, how did we have this world? Right? If gravity was different, or if Earth wasn't the way it was, or if life, all these different things that could have been differently, you can do the same thing for God, right? Yeah. And it seems like the randomness exists under both views. So it seems like both assumptions rely upon the idea that, again, they have the necessary properties to explain why this reality exists rather than another one.
So for you, it's pretty much a random event that happened and you're just here, pretty much. You're just here.
No, I'm saying under your view, it's the same thing. Under your view, it's also random unless you assume that there's the necessary properties within this initial state. Okay? And I'm assuming that with the fundamental particles, right? But I'm not assuming the fact that Jesus is the Son of God. I'm not assuming heaven and hell exist. I'm not assuming demons and angels exist. I'm not assuming all of this extra unnecessary baggage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that part. I understand that part. I don't believe.
Yeah, so if I'm not, essentially, if I'm just, my explanation carries less baggage, isn't it more likely to be true? It's going to be easier to carry?
Yeah.
Appreciate the end art. That's kind of what I'm saying here.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. That's why the explanation in which is naturalistic is more likely to be true than your particular religion. Your belief in God, my bad.
So when you died, what do you think, like, what's your opinion on that? Like, you think you're going to go somewhere or you just...
I don't know what happens. I have no clue.
You never thought about it?
I have thought about it many times, and I don't think there's a sufficient explanation.
Okay.
He just got removed for community guidelines, chat. That was TikTok. TikTok just decided to remove him. I honestly don't know what he said that got him to get removed. Should we continue, everyone? What do y'all think? Should we keep tapping the screen trying to get to 5 million? Or should we end it here for tonight, chat? What do y'all think? I appreciate the little crown. Thank you so much. By the way, we're going to be giving away 15 free subs, everyone, for how many likes we got tonight, by the way. Appreciate the hand arts. Thank you so much. We're going to be giving that away here pretty soon at the end of the live. So make sure to look out for that. I appreciate the hand arts. Thank you so much. One more and try to get to 5 mil. We can try one more and I'll try to get to 5 mil. I'm down to do that. And then I do got to get off because I want to play Fortnite. I want to play Fortnite, chat. I want to play Fortnite really badly. Okay. So we're going to go on to the next person. Send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for one more person here for tonight that disagrees, y'all. For some reason, my live is lagging. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna stop recording. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
What's your birth year?
2000.
Lil, I appreciate the description. Thank you so much. What month?
11th of January.
Oh, you did the math wrong, man.
Fuck.
Dude, I can't do it, chat. Sometimes I just can't do it. I can't do it. Yo, thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate all the hand hearts. Yo, what's up? How old
I
are
did
you?
not let you.
Hello?
How old are you? Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's actually real tough. We'll see. Should we could just end it tonight, everyone. 4.6 is wild.